Okay, good evening. Today is Monday, December 2nd, 2019. It is 6:20. This is a meeting of the Hanson Recreation Commission. We are meeting in the library of the main lodge at Camp Kiwanee. Those in attendance are Diane Cohen.
John Zuko.
I know. Oh, it's going. Look at the video.
No, I didn't think you said it.
Oh, this meeting is being audio and video recorded.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Yep.
John Frazetti.
Melissa stretches it.
Go Boyle.
Okay. And we're waiting on Judy. Just hopefully she'll. Okay. Approval of the minutes. Did everybody have a chance?
I was not present, so I can't vote on it.
I never got the video, so I didn't get the video.
So we don't have
We
any.
didn't have any audio at that time.
We don't have.
We don't have any. So, it is what it is. We don't need to, yeah, because I was gonna say, I didn't get them sent.
Yeah.
So we'd have to look at the video.
We'll not worry about it there.
Okay.
Okay. Listen, I can't get blood from a stone. All right. Department head update. The warrants are coming around while Bill will be giving his update.
To be said.
Okay.
Hi. Sorry, I'm late.
Send that along.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So this is just a brief facilities update of what the boys have done to the grounds, etc. Another update, so I need a motion to pay the invoice from All American Construction Corp. In the amount of $5,678.17
For the roof.
for the roof.
And that money is coming out of the grant.
This money,
Yes.
well, yeah, I have to ask how to do it. I don't know how to pay it out because I don't know if there's a specific line item yet to the grant, so.
But that grant money, which was 25,000, is in our account, right?
Mary sent for, I don't know if it's actually arrived yet. So Mary has to request it from the state house, essentially, from the state, and then they send it.
Okay.
So I mean, I know we're getting it, I just don't know if it's literally in the account yet.
You can't pay it until we have that money, because we don't have that kind of money up front, do we?
Well, we still have roughly 48,000 or so for, contracted services and such.
Anybody have any
So we
questions, comments, or concerns on this?
I mean, if you at least want to make the motion for me to pay it, and we can either do it as, when we get the grant, or if I get the okay from
Right.
Todd to say, yeah, we can take it from here and then.
And that the grant will be forthcoming so that we're not looking at big things.
So maybe if it's a motion, then I pay the
That's what I'm gonna,
amount from,
would someone like to make a motion that we pay All American Construction, which is Chris, $5,678. $5,678.17 for the repair of the roof from the funds of the grant or with Todd's approval out of our own fund, retained earnings until the grant money gets put in our account. And
So moved.
Okay,
So, I'll second.
all right, all those in favor? And it is a good job on the roof.
Yeah.
It is dry.
we haven't had to put buckets out or anything.
Yeah, it's an amazing thing, isn't it? First time in how many years?
Yeah.
Since before I was here.
I also have a service estimate, so we have to do annual maintenance to the gator. I haven't had it picked up yet, just because again, I want to be blessing to
Spend it.
to spend. It's gonna be, well, it's, this is full breakdown. So, $510.24. That's so long as it doesn't have
Any
a
other-
radiator leak or anything.
Right, so this is typical maintenance.
Yes, yeah, it happens every year, so
Right.
they come pick it up, bring it to the shop.
Right.
do it.
And last year they had it for an extra long time, didn't they? I remember.
Because it was something that had to
Yeah.
be fixed on.
Right.
It's us, but it's been loud since we've had it, so it's pretty much fluids and,
Okay, can I just ask, how much does a gator cost, a piece of equipment like that?
what is it, probably high teens, 20,000, over
Yeah.
15.
Yeah,
So it's worth it. I mean, it won't last, if you maintain it, it'll last another 5, 10 years.
Okay,
So
that's
it's
fine.
not the money it's supposed to
okay. Would someone like to make a motion?
I make a motion that we spend the $510 for the,
In 24
And
cents.
24 cents?
for the upkeep and maintenance of the gator.
Second.
All those in favor?
Alright.
Okay.
Yeah, if it comes back that it's gonna be more, then we'll address that, but at least I can tell them, you know,
Yeah,
I got
because
the
if there's
approval to
anything
spend that much.
seriously wrong with it, we have to spend another 500 or something, I'd like to know about it.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So what was that, do you know?
How old the gator is? Should have the year
New one's like
somehow.
12 grand.
It's not,
Yeah, right.
I mean, it's not on here, but I can look it up.
I think
Well, it's at
over-
least,
It's over 5.
yeah.
If you approach the 10, but
See it next time we will. I'll set up in the office next time, because I've had that go most of the day and that one going all day, and it's still kind of cool, so.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, those are the two biggies on that. Yeah, in terms of screens and stuff, so it looks like the weather will be pretty good Wednesday. So I'll have the boys jump in on some more screening over there on the north side.
Do we have an estimate of what they've already done, or?
The only ones over there are 1, 2, 4, and 5 are fine. 6, 8, and 10 are also okay.
so the south end is complete.
So the south end is done in cabins. I think there's still a couple trouble spots on the pavilion, but those are the ones kind of by the eaves.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's gonna be necessarily screen material or some of that like weird swirl mesh stuff, but yeah. What's that? Let's see, update. Oh yeah, everybody's got the, yeah, I think for the most part. Oh, again, in addition, just with the update, so all of Lyme's stuff I'm caught up on. You know, there's still invoices that trickle in and stuff that I gotta do the warrants and stuff for, but most all that has been taken care of. Brian, thank you for bringing the Republic to my attention. I did find that invoice, so I can get that taken care of as well.
Do you also find out whether we have 1 year left on that contract?
On the Republic,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 1.
It's at least a year, could be.
Yeah.
I don't think it's any longer than 1, I'm pretty sure, just find out what we have left, because we'd like to replace them.
You also have to make sure they didn't throw us further out for that cove dumpster that they were supposed to take away.
Right, we need to check the bill to make sure we didn't get billed for extra time on the cove dumpster, because it was on them to pick it up earlier and they didn't.
okay,
So we want to know the time period that we were charged for the
For
cove
the cove.
dumpster.
It's probably be about 3 or 4 weeks after Labor Day, because I didn't think they got it till October or end of September, but I don't know if you can go back on them for that. You can try.
Well, we told them to come pick it up, that's what it's contracted out to be, so do not pay it if they're billing us for extra time for the cove dumpster,
okay.
okay?
I believe we called about a week after Labor Day, so it's around September 7th or 8th.
Right,
Yeah, first week, second week of September.
So anything after that should be on
well, and from now on, when we order a dumpster for the cove, we're just gonna have them pick it up the, 3, 4 days after the beach closes, and that's it. So,
Perfect.
in case there's anything we wanna clean up with it.
Yeah, so in terms of just getting caught up with lawn stuff, in addition to that, so we've got the list of candidates. Diane and I have reached out to Mary to let her know, which ones we're interested in, bringing forward. I'm just now waiting to hear from Mary when we're gonna start the process. So it would be potentially as early as this week, but I didn't hear anything today, so my guess is that it may not happen until next week when we'll start the first round.
And just so you know, I think we were on the same page with pretty much everybody that 6. We got it down to 6.
Yeah, they were, I believe, 11 or 12 total.
Yeah.
So yeah, pretty good amount of people reaching out.
Okay.
Um,
And a lot of them had actual experience in a municipality or in the actual business of events.
Right, yeah, there's people with event experience, there's
Hotels.
people with specific recreation experience.
Yeah, and
There's a
there's
few people that have,
municipality experience.
yeah, overall municipal experience, which, you know,
Which
certainly
please
gets less.
Mary, I don't think, so, okay.
So yeah, and just, you know, with that, because I've been trying to keep up with that, because again, what I don't want to have happen is that, say we bring somebody in January and now, you know, we're trying to catch up with everything. So I've been focusing more on trying to get all that stuff squared away, doing what I need to do obviously on my end, but for things like event planning and everything, I have put that a little bit on the back burner just because I'm trying to make sure, you know, we don't get too bogged down with on stuff. So I'm at least gonna try to do, you know, some sort of movie night or something, because it's easy. It's not something that's, you know, we have to spend a crazy amount of money on, but it's still an event and something the kids like, and obviously we can look to do that. But overall, trying to do events right now has been on the back burner just to keep the office going and dealing with wedding inquiries and such.
Has anybody booked a wedding or anything?
We did get, I processed a deposit for a wedding. I've had 4 or 5 tours, and at least 2 out of the, 4 or 5 said they're looking to come back and drop off deposit. So I haven't had a direct,
Is this for 2020 or 2021?
I've had both people looking at 2020 and 2021.
Okay.
There's a lot of people looking at the fall of 2020, so I mean, we're pretty,
That would be 2021.
yeah, so I mean, there's a few people looking at 2021 that pretty much have their pick, because we don't have too much scheduled then.
They're looking for the fall of 2020?
Yeah, we have people right now trying to, yeah.
Well, they're 6 months, yeah.
It's amazing how many people are actually in that boat.
Yeah.
Wow.
The fall. Fall is ridiculous.
I know they want fall, but do they think they're gonna get 2020? You know, I mean, it's just funny because
It's pretty wild.
way less than a year out, you know? But anyway,
So again, yeah, so that's just where my focus has been, just to make sure, because again, Lon does the schedules, make sure the bills get paid and make sure this place gets money, so I'm trying to do that more so
well,
than
thank you.
some of the other stuff. Yeah, and just in terms of director evaluation, so I know Diane just handed you guys all those forms.
Yep.
Was everybody gonna fill it out and then turn it back into you?
We're gonna turn them into, town hall,
Okay,
Who do we
Okay.
turn into a town hall?
Mary.
Mary, okay.
yep.
awesome.
Okay.
And then just additionally, as part of the update, and Diane, I'm sure if you want to expand on this too, we're in the midst of looking at new ovens, or new stoves rather, from there. Chris has sent over a bunch of different options, both American and non-American made. I know in chatting with Diane, I agree with you in terms of looking at the American made stuff, just because the warranties and everything are better, and I believe getting parts will
Getting
be
parts to
easier.
fix them is easier.
They are a little bit more expensive on the front end, but especially warranty wise and things, and just longevity.
Do they come with like service plans and all that? Like, how does that work?
No, so, they don't come with service plans, but Chris works with somebody that does service them. I mean, I have a chain of emails, that everybody seemed to think, from what I could tell when we're going back and forth, the American-made ones were pretty much the way to go. I mean, the flip side to it is, yes, you can get the cheaper one, they're not used all year long, because we have a downtime at the, in events and everything, so you don't have a lot of people using them in the winter and such. However, we're replacing this for the long term. This is, this stove project is not a project that's gonna get done every 10 years, even every 20 years. As we can tell by the age of what's already in there. So I think we need to go with something that's got a better warranty, that's going to last. And hopefully as we do more events, it will get more use. So in the end, it's better to, I think, spend a little more and get what we need in the long run. Yes,
Do we have a price range for what the USA ones are?
we do. So
Is this
I think,
the South
are
Bend
are you
model?
passing that out?
I can't, the stuff that I printed out, if it's either the way he sent it or whatever, most of them didn't come up with the price on them. So I have the models and most of the specifications.
We can go, we can go out.
Well, no, I'm just gonna read you what I have from him.
Like this one is around 2,500, the
That's
North American.
that's not the American made one though, is it?
I know, yes, the North American refrigeration, so it's the 6 burner, 24-inch griddle, double oven, so that one's 2,500. They range anywhere from 2,500 to about $5,000.
Right,
The
okay.
one he sent me was the South Bend, the 10 burner. That looked like a nice unit.
But do we need 10 burners? And that was the other question. I didn't think we needed 10, because what's there now is, what, 6?
But
I think it's actually 4 and just a huge.
Griddle thing in the
Yeah.
flat, yeah.
But are we pulling everything out of there to replace it with this one unit? Are we pulling the pizza ovens out, because that has to do with the Hanson system? and
Right.
exhaust?
The electric one is staying, but my understanding is that they would be looking to pull the gas pizza oven as well as the range and stove combo.
Because
Right.
it seems to fit the bill for everything, if you were to pull that all out.
The oven, whatever stove we're getting will have 2 ovens in it.
Yeah.
The Vulcan ovens, which are the electric ones, will stay. The Blodgettes, we don't really know yet. If we scrap them, we're probably gonna have to pay somebody to take them out, because they are beasts. And we already reached out to one person to take them, and they want no part of it. So, because it's disconnecting them from the gas lines, it's a big project.
And it's also disassembling the, part of what's gonna need to happen is that the doorway over here, we're gonna have to take off the molding because as it stands, they won't fit through the door. So we're gonna have to, even taking the molding and stuff off, it's gonna be tight, but we should be able to get them out, this kitchen door here and then send them out the side entrance.
I would think once you get the gas out of there, then it's scrap metal, you know, and then as far as the molding, I mean, it's not a big deal, I mean, as far as carpentry, but it's
Well-
just the gas it scares people, but if they're disconnected and then
You need somebody that's got HVAC, knowledge, right? You need somebody that's like
Yeah, you need
licensed.
We need,
Plumbing.
plumbing and
So I
gas.
got an email
they'll
today.
cut the line, that's what they'll.
Hold on, I got an email today. He got a price for the plumber to hook up the new stove. It's $1,000 altogether, $200 in material and $800 in labor. He just hasn't gotten the official proposal yet, but it's gonna be around $1,000 to have a new one installed. Okay? And
So that'll fix up the gas line, that's not
That's with the new
working.
pilot
now.
assembly.
yes, okay, so, with the ovens, go back.
Yeah, 'cause I think initially, weren't they looking at one of the places that we were possibly gonna buy the oven from, we were seeing if they would remove the old one, and the guy was like,
Yeah, wow.
Is there value to scrap it, or
So-
it's not even worth it?
I guess, I don't know if there's a way that we as the town can do it, then the town, I don't know how that works, but I can find out. Like, I don't know if we could have, say, highway come, we get it out, we load it onto highway, and then we scrap it on behalf of the town, I can
Again,
talk
that
to,
has to go through the,
well, we still have to declare, the
Salvage,
the
right.
surplus salvage, and then once that happens,
okay, so this said, the South Bend 10 burner range with standard oven. It would be a new item, it's covered under the manufacturer warranty as indicated. We don't offer additional or extended warranties beyond the manufacturer warranty. Beyond just basic cleaning, refurbishing, and testing, we don't do equipment repairs on site. There are a couple of equipment service companies that do work on commercial restaurant equipment. There's one in Needham and one in Malden. Both of these service providers also service the Blodgettes. Regarding removal of the beast, it's fourth and long and the punt team is on the field. Thanks anyway, doesn't want it. Electric convection ovens are the only kind of oven allowed not under a hood. Either the hood of the fabricators we've used in the past are solid, but we often recommend Scotch sheet metal, who probably did Landmark because they worked on another job. So, the South Bend is the 10 burner. I didn't think we were gonna go with that, the 10 burner, but whatever we go with, it's going to have a griddle component to it and 2 ovens in it. The Blodgettes, I don't know if I want to scrap them yet. I feel we need more ovens in there. I feel we have the 2 ovens underneath the stove, and then we have the 2 Vulcans, that's only 4 ovens. And when Historical Society was going to come in and do their turkey dinner, and we had another event here for St. Patrick's Day, where they wanted more ovens to keep things warm, they were expecting all 6 ovens to be working. The 4 Blodgettes, I don't even know how to say Blodgettes, as well as the 2 Vulcans. So I feel at minimum, we need 6 ovens.
Do the Blodgettes all work, or?
No, they're not working, they need new pilot systems.
Okay.
Well, either the top half works and the bottom
Doesn't,
doesn't, or the
Bottom.
top half doesn't and the bottom does.
right.
But it's only half.
So we can have somebody out to
Yeah.
service them and just replace the stove, because that's pretty much going to, take up a good chunk of that grant money.
You said 2,500.
It's gonna be about 5.
Yeah, I think when all said and done, it'll probably be about.
5.
It's gonna be at least $5,000 or $6,000 to do what, and we just spent close to 6 on the roof, okay? So, we are, again,
It's a good selling point too, when you're booking a wedding, to say we've got a wonderful working kitchen for your caterer to come in and,
right, I mean, it's a draw.
yeah,
Caterers don't mind working it.
yeah, exactly.
So,
Well, even if you go down that road, you still have to upgrade the fire panel, and you have money left, and you should be investing it in there, because that's the radio control system.
the fire panel, you mean the alarm system?
Yeah.
Okay,
Because I know we've spoke about that last year, that we were supposed to do it, and now is the time. If we're only spending 10,000 of that money,
right,
I think it was 20 to replace
20.
that panel. If that, but that's new smokes and heat sensors and.
so maybe we should look into
Well-
that as part of this project as well.
Well, and part of the thing we also said that we'll need to do is the hood.
Well, right, but
Do we have to do it this year?
no, we don't. It is our intention to do it, and we know this. We've always had that intention to make this up to code and get the right hood. I think we need to, since we can't do the whole hood project, maybe a good way to go is with the fire panel, so that if
That
there
covers
was.
the whole lodge outside of the kitchen too, and you have marginal communication with the fire department. I mean,
Well,
this place could burn to the ground, you never know it. But with a radio control system, it's the state of the art, the smokes, and the heat sensors. I mean, if something happens, God forbid, they'll be alerted right away. The other way we play the game of the Hanson system, oh yeah, but if there's a fire in a furnace on the other end of the building. I mean,
One of the things too, I know and I don't know exactly where they are with the fiber project, but I don't know if part of that would all tie in together, because again, with the communication lines, with the, new alarm system.
Well, usually you go radio control on fire.
So it's not gonna even matter in terms of
Not
the,
really.
okay, that would be
That's
way
a
better
whole
than
different
what we're
frequency.
relying on now with that, the fax line.
Oh, God, yeah.
Because again, the wind blows the wrong way, and they have a communication error, and then sounders calling here, and they're calling the cell phone.
Right.
Now, you can eliminate all of that. I'm in the process of doing that presently with one of my sites, is because of old technology, that keeps happening. Whereas we can just get rid of it altogether and not worry about it.
I'm on
Radio
board.
control is radio control.
Let's do
It's
it.
like a fire alarm frequency.
So that's why I kind of thought that keeping the Blodgettes and just kind of repairing them so that we still have 6 ovens. We'd actually have how many Blodgettes are there? 4?
There's 4.
And then the 2 Vulcans and then 2 new ones in the stove. That would actually give us 8 ovens.
What's the name of that old, what kind of, what's,
The Blodgett.
the old one we're getting rid of is?
No, the one
No,
that's,
oh, the old one that we're getting rid of, I don't know.
I couldn't even find a maintenance tag on it.
No, it's just so old, so. Does anybody have any better ideas, questions, comments, concerns about this whole thing?
I thought that when we replaced the Blodgett, that we weren't gonna go to the 4 ovens, we were just gonna go to 2 anyway. So,
Well, we're gonna get 2 ovens in the,
you got 2 ovens in the stove itself,
right,
and then you got the 2 electric ovens.
right, so
And
that's
now the Blodgett has 2, and I thought
the
that,
Blodgett has 2,
I mean, 4 rather,
Right.
but he said only 2 are usable.
2 are working, right.
But you'll
so-
get those working.
But
that'll be
what
the plan.
my proposal is we get the new stove and have, when that's installed, we have somebody that will service the
Get the
Blodgett.
budget going.
Yeah.
So
If it
that-
can be serviced, that would.
Well, it just, yeah, he said I just read it.
Yeah, but
service
I
Blodgett
think we'd
too.
be able to fix it.
What's wrong with it? Is it the pilot or something?
Yeah,
Yes,
they
it's the
can't,
pilot assembly.
on 2 of them, again, either the top 2 or the bottom 2, the pilot doesn't stay lit, so you can't keep it going.
Right,
I know the bottom one looks terrible, though.
So once they do the shut off, they're gonna install a new stove and fix the pilot assemblies on
Yes.
whatever it requires.
once they do the shut off,
And they're
right,
available, those parts.
exactly,
And then at least we don't have to worry about trying to take it apart and get it out the door.
right.
I mean, we gotta take the other one apart and get it out the door.
I mean, would it be nice to take it, to get it out the door, sure, and get everything brand new, but I think what we're doing now is the most cost effective and the most reasonable. And then to do the update on the fire, the radio,
Well, he might come back at you next year and say, okay, with the Ansel system, if you want to reduce the size of the Ansel system to keep it down, you might have to downsize those projects or a different configuration. So it's
Right.
all about, the less you're gonna cover, the less it's gonna cost.
absolutely. But, you know, we're gonna have to take it one step at a time, I think. Okay,
And so on the alarms, so obviously that's gonna be a pretty big ticket item, so it's, what, we need 3 quotes on that?
on the
On
lawn,
the alarm
yes.
system, okay,
And I'll call Chris on that too,
okay.
because he might know somebody.
Leave it up, too.
What?
Might want to have someone clean that thing up too, it's like,
Yeah.
been through a war or 2.
Right,
Because if you end up,
Same thing
you
with
know,
electric.
go into it and then someone comes in and looks at it, it's not going my pizza.
Well,
You know what I mean?
the pilots on them aren't lit, so we're gonna have caretakers go in and clean them out, even if they just sweep them out.
Yeah, well, I know, I don't know about the Blodgetts, I know last week we did clean,
The
I know
volunteers.
the electric were clean, I don't know if they went deep inside the other ones, but I know at least surface wise and all that, we got a lot of them off.
Okay, well, we need to clean the inside of our debts, even if it takes a shop vac, just,
I'll just get the,
you know,
yeah,
okay? Because that would be important.
okay.
Okay,
So do we have to pick an oven, or do we just like,
we're gonna go, I think we should go with the American made one, and you guys
yeah, I
can
don't
go
really
with
care.
the,
Yeah.
yeah. Right? I mean.
Yeah, and I like having the grill built in, I know he was suggesting maybe do a separate,
Right, you know what, that's another thing in the kitchen.
yeah, I mean, it's
It's
just
another thing
finding
to get
another place
stolen.
for it. Yeah.
It's, you know, there's just too much, I'd rather have it built into the
Everything
stove,
I'm with you,
okay?
awesome,
All right, so moving on
yes.
from that,
So the next thing on there was vendor contract review. So I can either pass out a copy to everybody, but at the end of the month, Yoga's contract is up. So I'm putting it out there, are we just essentially gonna use the same template, just change the dates, renew the contract?
Nope.
okay?
Okay, so then,
Which went over this last
so
year.
let's table it and we'll bring it up for next meeting, because
Or do
we
you
don't wanna
wanna
go down that rabbit hole.
Brian, do you want to include it as part of policies and procedures, or?
Well,
It's not, it's a contract, now is it?
Yeah, it works a little bit different than the policies.
I can drag it under a general discussion if you want.
Well, it's up to you, I
It's like a
know
2-second
this,
conversation.
if it's a 2-second conversation, that's,
No, it's gonna turn into a
no,
long
no.
conversation.
Well, as I proposed last year, because we're losing our shirt off a lot of these services, I believe they should be able to be their 80-20 split or a minimum of $15 per hour for something like that. So if someone uses a lot for an hour, if you make over $15, great. If not, then you should at least be into us for 15.
That's something we can
I said
discuss.
last year.
So, alright, well,
All right,
pass those up to everybody and then we can put
Last
it
year,
on.
Lon had given us exactly what they had made and how much we were losing.
yep,
We at least gotta cover the staff.
right.
Alright, so we can put that.
So we're not gonna renew the contract right now?
Yeah, I mean, it's still good through the end of the year.
Right.
But I just, I know that it took a little bit to get it going again last year, so I was just trying to get ahead of.
Right, and we're not, but if she wants to sign a new contract, obviously in January,
Well, that would be the goal, but,
and we wanna change it, this is our last meeting of the month,
well,
so.
again, I believe that, because I think what happened last year too is that the contract didn't end up getting signed till almost February, but she just essentially operated normally and just waited for the contract, so.
But I really don't wanna pull the rug out from under, I'd like to let her know of any changes.
Right,
As
well,
soon as
well, we,
possible.
You'd have to have her come in for.
well, we'd have to, yeah, maybe schedule her for January, so
Okay,
whether it's, we just kind of status quo for now until we draw up the new contract, or, I guess technically we could,
so let's invite her to the
Yeah.
January meeting.
okay, because we could do it under, I think it's item 13, which is modification and amendments. We could extend it out for like a month or so to give us the time to change it, or we can just kind of go and, like it was done last year, she kind of operated for the month of January for that contract.
What did you say?
Give it to January.
Okay.
For her to be here, that way she can say her piece again.
Great.
All right,
so there's Okay.
that.
We don't know how many people she's bringing in, we would never know that, right? For the most part, because we never come.
It's an honor system,
So,
I mean, honestly, that's what it is, it's an honor system.
Well, she
And-
tracks it and then we get the quarterly payments from her. I can look to see, where it's kept. I mean, I just have a copy of the contract, I don't have the
Right,
other stuff, but,
I mean, she could say she had 2 people, but maybe had 20, I don't know. She could say she had 20 and only had 2, I don't know.
Well, the caretakers are supposed to be in charge of care
yes.
I don't know.
They were supposed to verify.
Right.
well, and again, there's a form that's filled out every time she's here. Here's either.
And who's filling it out, the
people.
caretakers?
Well, the caretakers are there, but, she knows who's there, so she just says, here's who is, here are the people, or if she gets a new person, then we get a copy of the,
Agreed.
whatever waiver that they signed.
Right.
But yeah, usually it's just that, there's this many people, and,
Right.
it's just kinda like she's got a folder, almost near where the caretakers are.
So when the yoga's happening, a caretaker opens up?
Yeah,
stays-
and hangs out, and usually they have other tasks, so they'll be around, whether it's cleaning or doing something, Deb goes and gets
Does her
set up and
thing.
does her thing. And then they just kind of oversee, if she needs them to adjust the temperature,
Right.
sometimes she's like, hey, can you move this table?
Well, I mean, if we can just be more diligent to make sure the caretakers are saying how many people were at each session, that'd be great. Okay? All right. Anything else?
Is
Not
this
for the
general
vendor.
discussion, or is?
I just jumped forward, we're probably still back at the beginning.
You'll probably jump into the warrant.
Yep, I'm looking at the warrant. We gotta start thinking so much. We waste a lot of paper, so let's just send pictures via email.
Of the warrants?
No, not of the warrants, but like things like, the stove and things like that, I'll just send them. Okay, oh yeah, thanks, yeah.
She the only contract that's due now?
Yes, Drama Kids isn't up until May. And they're really, I think, the only 2 right now.
Another one for Eagle Teas? Napkins?
No, so he just lists all the stuff he provides, but on that, I think it's just linens. So that's just a linen invoice. So when we have somebody get linens through us, so we get
We
that
pass the
invoice.
cost on.
Yeah, well, we'd make a little bit on that.
Right,
Yeah.
okay. Okay,
So yeah, he sends us that, that's what we pay, and then what we get covers that and then some.
Beautiful.
okay. Winterization of the bathhouses was 1,500.
Yep, well, the memo got cut off, so it was bathhouses, it was cottage, it was
Yeah, it says
the
it
cove,
there, the water
yeah.
main and the cove, yep. Okay,
Did anybody double check to make sure that that refrigerator was opened up down in the cove? Because it had been closed, but I don't know if anybody opened.
Yeah,
Make
just
sure.
take the door off or just,
Yeah,
I'll double check, I know the guys were down there, because one of the things they did was, again, trying to flood proof, so
can you
I
just,
can just go down and check in the, on my drive-in tomorrow morning, I'll just go check it.
okay,
just so that we don't.
Just write down-
The refrigerator.
write yourself a note to check it, because that's the best thing to do, and then ask them if the door needs to come off, and have one of them do it. Please.
I mean, I can just find something that's kind of jamming, so that it doesn't get caught, like a cord or whatever.
Shows,
Yeah.
keeps things open so it doesn't get moldy.
Okay. Warrants are done. Do we have any miscellaneous correspondence?
Oh, yeah. Well, not necessarily, so we have, a wedding couple that reached out, so their wedding is in June, and all they were asking, and so I don't know if there needs to be approval, how we have to go about it, but they initially paid to have an extra hour of the reception, so the $250 reception hour.
Right.
And now they're saying they don't necessarily need it, they also bought a setup hour as well. They said, at this point, they only need the setup hour, they don't need the the additional hour. So what
Okay.
they're looking for is just for us to change the contract and refund the $250. Which I think is okay, but
Yeah,
I
it's
just
not
wanted
till
to.
June.
Yeah, it's not till June, it's not a deposit, so it's not like
Right.
that, so, I guess just to be safe, if I can
We should
get.
take a motion,
A
because we're
motion
gonna
to
have
get the approval.
to, the money's gonna have to go back.
Yeah, so it would be for, the June 13th, 2020 wedding, the Bartles wedding, and just, yeah, a refund of $250, because they're not gonna have the event run till 11, it's only gonna run till 10.
Have they paid in full, or did they just put a deposit down and they still owe?
I have to go in and find their information, so I don't know. My understanding, I think right now it's only deposit and then probably the $250 for the hour. But obviously pending, and that's what we have to double check, is to make sure that they've actually paid for the additional hour. So I think, so long as they've already paid for the $250,
So Brian, are you suggesting then that we apply the 250 to the price, to the
To the
remainder
price
of
of
the
the-
balance?
Right, that's what, that would be the easiest way, rather than kind of.
Rather than go through all the
But
paperwork?
obviously-
You're gonna have to rewrite a whole new contract.
Yeah.
Void the first one out.
Right,
Obviously, people only go in front of, write a little letter to the board of selectmen explaining what we're doing,
yeah,
so that they don't have to question it or anything like that. That would probably be the easiest, is
so after you check the paperwork,
almost discounted.
to see how much
They
they
put down,
still owe, okay? If they're already paid in full, obviously we'll return the money,
okay.
and we'll
They
take
have
it,
it, we'll credit it.
we'll credit it. That way we don't have to go to the board of
Sit down,
selectmen
yeah.
for every single thing, it's just,
Okay.
okay?
And so, I mean, well, even if we credit it, do we still have to?
We don't have to write a new contract though,
Okay,
which
okay.
then has to go through, it's a pain.
okay,
Less paperwork, right?
yeah.
You
Let's,
know?
less paperwork and done right, that's fine by me.
All right,
So,
okay.
all right, but you guys are okay with that?
yes.
Okay.
So that's what.
And I asked Gina how to do it, and she said it's very simple, it's just like inputting a warrant, you just give her their information, so.
Okay.
So I will look more into that, but yeah, that just came in, I got that today, so.
Okay,
Um,
anything else?
other than that, that's, I think, the most miscellaneous correspondence I have there.
Okay. Policies and procedures. Oh, sorry, Melissa, go ahead.
Can I bring up my wedding bash event?
Oh, cool.
Yep.
So, I reached out to the organizers of, there's a bridal bash event, January 12th, at Lantana. It's 300 to 500 people sign up. She is willing to give us a table for $300. It's like a 6-foot table, we use a table drape. I talked to John about it, maybe do like a giveaway, some kind of cheap giveaway.
Do you wonder who emceed the last 2 bridal bashes?
And John said it's a pretty good, yeah, John's done one of these
You can
events.
make it that
Well,
way.
usually our company will MC it, so if I'm not emceeing it, well, I won't be emceeing this one, but someone probably will, so I can make sure they,
That was our,
Talk a lot
that was our,
talk a lot about
we had our wedding there at Lantana.
Okay,
So it starts at noon, I think it's like 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah, it usually goes 3 hours on
Yeah.
those,
So I think it's a good way to, advertise us. I was
Mm-hmm.
even thinking of doing maybe like a shutterfly book of wedding photos, find out who the photographers are and get some nice
can you
photos.
pull that together for January?
Yeah, the shutterfly books are pretty, I just need to get I don't know who the photographers I can reach out to.
Well, I think too, if you,
Do we have-
if we go to the Kiwanee Facebook, you can go, because a bunch of them tag us.
Can we
and it's,
take photos? Can we use them? I mean,
I believe we can't because they tag us, but I think it's safer to just say, hey, we're gonna have this, or go to this event, do you mind if we?
okay.
Because in essence, you're using their material to market, so if you profit off of their material, it's a trademark thing.
Yeah.
So
But maybe
it's
there's-
just good to ask. just,
Yeah.
you know.
And
And we
at least
can
if
always
they're
put their
watermarked.
name, take them
Yeah,
by.
they're
A lot of time they have their watermark on there too, so it's,
Yeah.
if we've got the pictures up there, then it's, like so-and-so's photography,
Yeah.
it's still promotion for them.
Yeah, you could
Yeah,
just
that's
say,
what I
you know,
mean.
check out these people, look at their
Yeah.
beautiful pictures, you can use them too, and then maybe entice them by saying, we can have some of your cards, we can.
That's true, bring business cards, yeah.
Joan?
Some of them have share on them, others don't. So the ones that you can't share out are the ones that don't give you the share option.
Okay.
Because they can sell other things.
I'm gonna reach out to them, I'll reach out.
Right.
Yeah, 'cause that's the best.
So anyway, so that was so it's $300, so I think I would probably need to get a motion of
Spending that to participate in the borough.
it would be a
I
marketing
will-
event.
I will motion.
I'll be able to attend if,
Yeah.
I'd like someone else to help me if possible.
I think I'm in tag along, I just don't know, how long is that? Just-
3 hours.
3 hours,
hours. Even if you can come from.
I can go do
What
some,
was the date?
Yeah,
January
12th.
12th.
and
The
then
12th.
if it's in the afternoon, I'm good, it's just a
Yeah,
basketball
yeah.
game.
Noon to 4 or what, noon to 3.
Okay, yeah, I could probably. I
Usually
could
set
do
up an
it
hour
later.
before, go and set up an hour before.
And like Bill, I can work with you on like getting some of the, maybe get some contracts, pricing, a
Okay,
price sheet together.
yeah, we can do like the lot breaks and all that.
Yeah.
And I think we should mention, those special deals when we go get into the business plan, we'll circle back and talk about that.
Okay.
okay?
Okay, I will motion that we spend $300 to get a table at the bridal bash on January 12th at at Lantana.
So
Second.
Will you get a second?
And I need to get a check, so how do I do that to reserve the space? Do I have to put a check?
It's reimbursement
Yeah.
Okay.
Reimbursement,
unless,
say there may be a way, because I did it for the registry, although the registry's already in our system. So I think we would have to get their information to make them a vendor
A vendor.
to have,
Can do that.
Yeah.
But-
do that.
I can go and I can double check with
I
you
probably
if
just get like
want.
their W-9 or something.
Yeah.
so can you get that? Thanks for doing that, Melissa.
Okay, do we have a motion on the table?
And then Ryan seconded
Ryan
it.
seconded.
All those in favor? Aye. Aye, okay.
Yeah, and if you can send me if there's, the info is, how much the table and all that costs, 'cause
I'll reach
And
out,
then-
it's Boston Event Guide, I'll send you the address.
yeah, because before I at least had to show Gina, like, here's how much it cost, when I had to file something at the registry. So I had to at least show, here's how much it costs, and then they were able to cut the check. And then I brought the check with me. So I would assume it'd be very similar, but I'll double check with it tomorrow. But yeah, the more information, especially the price and stuff that I can have, the better, because that's usually what they need.
Yep, okay.
Awesome.
Okay, how about the Seaport one? It's a little bigger show, but it's a little more money too. too.
Well, that's what I mean, yeah. So this one, she was able to discount us. Was that Bay State Bridal?
No, that's Wedding Day Expositions.
John, I feel like the Lantana one is much more relevant to us, because if you're talking Seaport,
Yeah.
you're talking like, it might be harder to
Right.
snag some of those brides that are from this
Yeah.
area.
Mhm.
So I think
How much
that's
is that one?
Best bang for a buck.
The other one is, now where is, that would be 900, that's Wedding Day Expositions. There's also the Great American Bridal Expo.
And where's that?
Is that in Foxborough? No, where is that one? Woburn?
I don't remember, I looked at so many.
That's,
You don't forget you got the bridal show by.
that's what's in there,
Kelly.
that's, Charmaine.
So, you got
And then we
two.
have the bridals by Kelly.
Yeah, that's, we're having that here, yeah. Bay State Bridal.
Oh, Bay State Bridal Expo is at the Boston Marriott.
Oh, so she's not,
Boston Marriott, Newton.
Newton Marriott, okay.
This one, so it's 1,200, no, 1,300.
That's why you wanna see if we get that,
Yeah.
advertising.
Let's dip our toes
But I
one
always,
at a time.
you know, for the other one, I was just like, we're a municipality, we don't have a lot of money, like, and she's like, all right, I'll give it to you for 300, I was like, okay.
Plus you get to pay $85 for electricity with Bay
John's
State Bridal.
Oh my
Muscle
God.
that in.
They pay your own electricity?
They charge you for electricity, oh yeah.
Oh,
You'd be
yeah,
surprised.
such a big.
Comes at a premium, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
If it's a corner booth, they charge $100.
I'm done more for the corner booth, yeah. Well, yeah, let's start with that one, let's start with.
Let's start with this
Bridal
one,
Bash.
yeah.
Okay, so
I
we're
do
good.
have one more correspondence, guys. My son, I don't know if I have to email you, Billy. My son, has to get his Eagle project approved, but he needs to first, I think, present it to us. So he's meeting with his, troop advisor tomorrow. I told him we don't meet until January, but he needs to propose to us, so can I invite him to a meeting? He just has to give us a letter. I forget if he has to go in front of the Board of Selectmen, but he and his troop would like to put in the fire pits in the campgrounds. So,
As a project?
yeah, so, he's gonna need a little bit of guidance. I know that Brian, I know you guys have the best knowledge for what is needed. The good news is his troop leader is, it runs a big construction firm in Boston, and he can get the cement for free.
Wow.
So, which is huge.
Yeah, what's that left?
Who's he work for?
The truck.
It's a big firm, it's a big firm. So he goes in, but the issue is gonna be, the manpower, because, he can only, he has a small time frame to do it, and I forget the logistics, but I wanted to reach out to you guys, because I know it requires an okay from us, and an okay from the Boy Scouts of America, so, but he needs to do the preliminary legwork. He's just coming to ask, basically, to get permission.
Yeah, I think he does have to just go in front of the Board of Selectmen.
I think he
was
does.
at a meeting and I saw another,
Couple, he goes.
young man that was doing a project
Yeah.
that has to present it, and they just kind of
So
give
it's
their-
not to us, it's not to us, it's to
Well,
Board of
It's
Selectmen.
to us
Well,
first.
I think it would come to us because we say, yeah, we want them to do it, and then it goes to them just to
Right.
put the seal of approval.
And do I not, kind of step back, or like,
He could probably just send us a letter and then
Mhm.
like show up
Yeah.
himself to
Yeah,
the Board of
probably.
Selectmen.
so a letter from him, so he's.
Yeah.
and I just-
Detailing the project.
I have to disclose.
I don't
it.
think you have to step back, because there's no money involved, so it's not a
No,
conflict
no,
of
yeah,
interest in that respect.
And even if it went to a vote, you could just say, I'm abstaining because it's my son, and then everybody
Right.
else votes yes, and, but that
Okay,
should be fine.
okay, okay, great, that's all.
Awesome.
Sweet. So all of them?
They want to do it, but they have to figure out
Depends.
manpower.
Yeah.
He needs to have more adults overseeing these guys. I mean, you don't have a bunch of 16-year-olds in cement.
True.
That's just,
If you give me a date, I'll see if I can get some manpower. I have a friend that owns a concrete company.
well, the other thing too is that all of these eagles, like that are adult eagles, there's a bunch of them. When these things happen, if you reach out to them, they're like, a lot of them, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, they'll show up.
Oh, yeah, they want to do it.
And they'll be here to,
Andy's. Okay.
Yeah, so, yeah, any adult Eagle Scouts, I think the biggest issue with the cement is, once you mix it, like the guy said, you really just need to do it right, and he's a professional, so he would like to do all of them if possible, but if they don't have the help, they can, they're gonna do the best that they can. So they'll hook up with you guys and figure out what's the bigger need, which ones, need to be
And when is the time frame to do that? In spring?
He has to do it by June of 28, yeah, because that's when he turns 18, so it's gotta be done. I think he was looking at May, guys, so.
Okay,
we could
So I'm gonna do it tonight.
that'd be great.
Yeah, so
Um,
before Memorial Weekend, which would
Okay.
be good, yeah.
Yeah, we'll just probably have to plan it just, I don't think we have too many crazy weddings, but we'll probably just have to frame it around those, just because right around Memorial Weekend is when that starts to get rented out.
Okay, yeah.
So we can just, we'll figure it out. We'll make sure it works.
Doesn't even open until Memorial Day weekend, I thought.
Well, that's, yeah, they can, yeah, so as long as he wasn't looking to do it that same weekend.
No, he has to get it done before May, but he'll send a letter here and I'll just share it with you next meeting. And you can do
That'd be
the
great.
Spiel.
Awesome.
Okay. Now, can we move on to policies and procedures? Wait
No,
a minute,
no,
Brian?
Time clocks, is everybody using the time clock, including the facilities?
The facilities guys, yes, the one that, and I have to find the manual for it, I thought Lon, before she left, had got Ed coded. So Bobby and Jack are, Ed went to use it and it's coming up, file not
Information
found.
not.
But the other guys, everybody's been using it and Ed's been fine, he's just like, I try to use it, but it's just not clocking it. So I've just gotta go through, find the manual and then just figure out how to troubleshoot it so that on the day that he's here, I can get them coded in, but yes.
Does he have do they have access to get inside the building?
Yes. Yeah, so they now, before Ed had a code to get in, the other guys didn't. Now everybody's got an alarm code, and the other two are coded into the time clock itself. Ed isn't, but we'll get him.
Okay, locks for cabins, where are we with this?
Ace is, he's putting that together, Mark down at Ace. The one thing he asked, in terms of the hasps, and I had Ed do a count, so
In terms of the what?
the hasps, so the clip, I'll do a picture of it. Do we wanna go with, he asked if we wanted to go with the 3 1/4 inch or the 4 1/2. And that's just in terms of the length of how far it comes off of
Probably.
the door.
well,
4 1/2?
4 1/2 might work better for those doors.
Okay, so I'll just, I'll let him know that, he's putting everything together. I gave him, so Ed went through, looked at everything, and based on his count and what he had for locks, he said, we need 30 locks, 35 hasps, just to be safe. Mark's gonna be able to key them, I gave him a copy of the key for the other locks. He's gonna be able to key all the new ones to that same key. So instead of us having 2 different keys for a bunch of different locks, they will all be the same key, which obviously makes things a lot easier and manageable. And again, we have so many keys for this place, we don't need any more.
Right.
So I'll go down and talk to him tomorrow, say we wanna go with the 6 or I'm sorry, the 4 1/2. What's that?
You probably won't be driving anywhere tomorrow.
Is tomorrow supposed to be crazy?
Yeah.
The weather, really?
The
Like
June.
8 inches of snow.
How many?
Oh,
And wet.
That's they're panicking everybody.
Eight.
we'll see. Alright, so I can assure you then that the screenings are not gonna start tomorrow, probably.
That's what I was thinking.
Alright, so maybe Wednesday I'll be telling them that we're going with 4 1/2, but yeah, I will go talk to Mark.
I spoke to Dave Hanlon about the trees.
Okay.
With him.
Wow.
There's a question of, he'd like to do it in December, but he needs to know what events are here gonna be planned. So if he has problems on the access road, it's not gonna impact anybody for
December,
December. Yes.
December,
You got
It's
So,
a dead, outside of Christmas, it could be after
breakfast
Christmas. It
with
could be,
Santa.
yeah, breakfast with Santa, but during the week for the most part.
The 17th and 18th or something.
Yeah, so he'll probably be reaching out to me and you in
Awesome.
regards to that. He's talking about all the trees on the access road, the beech trees, other trees, about maybe 50,000. There's a couple of warrants, we're gonna clear that up as to how much money is available,
Yeah.
but it's on his radar.
Thank you, Brian. That's huge.
So he'll get back to me on that.
Is he going to grind this, he said on the beach ones now, they're gonna take out the roots and
Yes.
everything.
Yes, on the beach he's gonna do that.
Because we don't want anything left there.
As far as the access road, he's not gonna be able to do that.
what tree?
But yeah, I think for the few trees on the cove, he'll be able to, but yeah, he wouldn't, like I said, can't do it for each of the ones.
No, I don't care about that,
Yeah,
but
cool,
at the
yeah.
beach, you need.
Yeah, because we need to get the stumps and the roots out, because
Yeah,
then we're gonna need to
you
do
don't
more
want tripping
sanders, yeah.
and kids getting hurt.
Oh, that'd be great.
Okay, what's he doing with the wood? Are they taking it?
yes, we haven't got that far.
Okay.
He'll get rid of it, but, other things are posted hours. Like, we don't have any posted hours. If you're not here, what are the hours? Because that was a thing that we had with Teresa and the last
Right.
director.
Right.
Is if somebody comes up to the lodge, what are the hours? Can you be reached? Can you get a sign or?
I can put a sign, when I've been the only one here and I've had to go out to either run errands or whatever, I've just printed out a sheet and stuck it on the door and just said, in last week, so I had to wait to get a new phone, I tried to update my phone and it pretty much killed itself, so. What I was having people do is I could still check email, so I was either telling them to leave a message at the office and I return it, or if you wanna send me an email, I can return an email. But I have been leaving sign on the door, if I'm the only one here, there's no caretakers, you know, that if I need to be reached, either leave a message at the office or email me. I did update, I know there was, I think it was on Facebook, there was, discrepancies, some of the hours said 9 to 5, so now everything says 9 to 2. Because again, when the new administrative assistant comes in, I believe her hours gonna be 9 to 2 for the business office, so trying to keep all that uniform, especially where some days, if I'm out and about, some days I'm here till 5, but some days, you know,
Right.
I'm not.
Right.
The big, the big
Okay,
discussion before was that we had to knock at 9 to 5.
To reach Teresa.
That was according to, because Teresa checked into it with Mary, and that's how it had to be posted, even though you only had Lon here 9 to 2. And then even some days she wouldn't be here because she'd be working a Saturday, but you have to.
So can you check with Mary on
Let
that?
me ask Mary yeah.
Because Teresa got into the department head's work 9 to 5, Monday through Friday.
Because we had
Right.
pushed back against it, and
She went to
Yeah.
Mary
In
and
fact,
like,
there's 2 meetings, I got
She's
to
out.
tell the 2 meetings. I brought that.
Yeah, and the only reason I'm just trying not to get into posting the 5 o'clock is that again, where some days I'm not here till 5 o'clock, I don't wanna put
Right,
that in there.
he's at a meeting now, he doesn't have to be here,
Yeah,
until 5 o'clock.
yeah, cause like today, we're gonna be here till probably 9, so that's a, 12-hour.
I'm hoping we'll get this.
I'm just saying.
Alright, move on. It's
So,
already
yeah, I will inquire as to what the official hours have to be,
Okay,
and if I need to change them to 5, then I will.
we're
But right
in
now,
1 hour, this meeting, we didn't start till 6:20. Okay,
the budget narrative. One thing on the budget narrative that I had some questions on in regards to the department head. I mean, we're looking at an 11% raise here when the norm is 2 to 3% per merit. And I spoke to Mary about this, and we didn't really understand this when we were going through this last week, and I looked at the percentage, and when I saw the narrative, it was like, well, I'm not being paid like someone else would be on Glassdoor, and I'm kind of
no, I don't
perplexed
think,
by that.
I don't think it's, the 11% is a guaranteed, is it?
No, because again, FinCom could come and say, no, you're getting just 2% and it's gonna go to 45.9.
Well, when I spoke to Mary about that, it was like, you budgeted that, that's what he's getting.
right.
Well, no, because again, it's still gonna, this is what, so the way it's gonna go is that here's what recreation has proposed, then it's gonna go to the board of selectmen to say either they approve this or they don't, and they're gonna give what they think their numbers are, and then FinCom's gonna get into it, so there's still at least 2 iterations before that ends up being, whatever it's gonna be.
Well, there's some confusion, because I spoke to her about it today, and she told me, well, if that's what you guys want to put forth, that's the number. So,
Right, whatever we put on there is what his pay will
is
be.
what the budgeted number's gonna be.
That, I got a note from her today, because I wrote her, I didn't know Brian was gonna do anything, but I do have help.
So what's
She
your
said-
feeling on that number, Brian? What is the biggest?
The feeling is that all of a sudden, you can go back to wage and personnel and say, okay, this salary range 30 to 50 isn't applicable. Maybe it should be 40 to 60, but you're going from, you start at 45 in the midst of it, and then you go to the top rate within a year. That's kind of 11%, when the rest of the town is getting 2, is a little,
Might not sit well.
it might not, it's, overall, that's why I wanted to know, what is the norm in a town? In business, it's probably 3%,
Yeah, it's 2.
2, or it could be more, based on whatever. I mean, we could say, well, maybe it's 5, but it just seems like it goes from right to the top range, right out of the gate. And like I say, we can go back to wage and personnel next year and say, we need to adjust this accordingly. His responsibilities have changed. We have that capability from what she told me today. So it's not like, okay, you're dead in the water at 50. I mean, at some point, if you go to the top range next year, what happens then? Then you're gonna go before wage and personnel, and that could be another year out.
Right.
So when I saw it last week, I'm like, well, I thought, well, that's within the range, and whatever it is, 3%, 4%, but I just wanted to have clear understanding before I came that, is that gonna be the hard number, or is that within that salary?
Well, right, I think honestly that number needs to be more competitive anyway.
Well, that's
If you
the
look at
whole
that,
thing,
it needs to be
Julie,
competitive.
with going before wage and personnel and saying, this is not applicable in today's era.
Right, we have to let wage and personnel make the
But
decision.
that is a discussion you
not-
have now.
But not on that, because the range is posted as 45 to 50, it doesn't yet have to go to wage and personnel. If I had put
If you
52 on there or something.
Well, it's 30 to 50, and I said, where did 30 come from? Because no one would work.
No one.
for
Oh,
No,
$30.
it's, I mean, I can go, I have it in the thing, it's posted 45 to 50.
Yeah,
So when I asked
because on that
Todd,
last round of interviews, it was 45 to 50.
That's because we set that range at 45. But the real range, if you look at it in the section, it's 30 to 50
In what section?
in section A.
The budget,
Not the budget, but the
the wage and personnel.
appendix, wage and personnel compensation adjustments, section 7.
So we're saying that's gonna change to what next year? What is it? It's gonna be budgeted for what next year? If that
That's just, you can budget anything, it's just, you're gonna go, before you go and budget something, you're gonna have to go above that 50,000 range, go before wage and personnel, and change the range, but that's where it sits today, is right there.
Right.
So we determine the starting salary at the get-go to get a candidate, because we could have said 30.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm getting at, is all of a sudden we go from 45 to 50, and then we're dead in the water next year unless we go before wage and personnel. So I mean,
Pretty much whatever we put on that budget is, I mean,
Going to,
FinCom can say no, Board of Selectmen can say no, it doesn't matter what they say, because
it's got
you have the
that.
full support of the COM behind it.
Right.
To be honest.
It looks horrible on paper, it looks at
That's
11%,
something
you can have an
they
department that's screaming.
Push it to the-
Yeah, oh, I would agree.
Let's push it to the higher ceiling. It's very, very difficult to work with what we have.
Absolutely.
I mean, honestly, because
I
then,
mean,
But you-
you know,
on Wednesday anyway, we sit down and go over it so they can, tell me to go pound sand and I can change it. I'm just putting it on it because again, when I asked Todd, I said, what room do I have with this number? Am I allowed to, because I asked him, I said, can I bump it to 50? He goes, well, it's in the range. So he said, as long as you don't go above what's been posted, it doesn't have to go to wage and personnel and all that. So that's what I did. If we have to change it, then so be it, but.
I would recommend, if I could, take the current salary right now, add the 2%, bring it up to 45,720, actually do it 46K. Go in front of town meeting, do what we have to do, and then go to wage and personnel. Because if you start jumping 5%, 10%, 11%, you're gonna have the town hall screaming at us. Because you have a lot of department heads that aren't gonna get an 11% raise, attempt to get, because they know it's not within our realm. And again,
Especially when we're taking 70 or 80,000 from the town to subsidize this, it's gonna be hard to justify, what are you doing here? Because if we're taking in 230 and we're spending 300,
Right, no, I
I'm
understand
just-
what you're saying.
I mean, we can do anything going forward, but
but again, you go into that meeting on Wednesday, isn't it?
Yeah, the fourth.
You're going in there with a blessing of the entire comp saying, yeah, let me do it.
Well, then make a motion.
I make a motion to go with the current salary that he makes right now, add 2% to it, which approximately $896 per year, bringing the total of $45,723, but bumping it up to $46K as opposed to the $50K.
Is there any more discussion on this?
I don't know. I don't know. It's just not competitive as it is. I think, moving forward, when, we're taking a look at, pushing the camp to
To a next level.
the next level. It's just not.
Well, as Brian said,
You
your
don't-
plan B is going to wage and personnel, which
we're
can
not
raise.
saying this is the be-all and end-all.
Right.
We're saying that we can use this as a tool to go before them and say, hey, we need more money.
Like we did with the lifeguards.
You pass my one.
Basically the same setup as the lifeguards. We couldn't raise the lifeguards.
So you're
So we
basically
went-
saying to make it look better on paper right now,
Well,
Well,
it's
but
and then-
long term, you're not tied to that. You've got to.
then increase it when we have to wage and personnel.
Yeah, because if you go to the end of this budget year and then you say, okay, well, now we want to go up another 10,000 because he's maxed out.
They
And
didn't
that
say
doesn't
why, they
help.
show it to me.
Yeah.
And you're still keeping in line with the rest, the rest of the town, it's 2%. That's the way Hanson is.
No, I know, I remember that when I went before the Board of Selectmen and
I'm sure you heard it many times.
I heard it there, yes.
And none of us agree with it. I believe in merit raises. They don't. It's just, here it is, have a nice day.
They said when we were
But
trying to
it's-
raise the rates, they were like, well, we only got a
But
raise.
it's also not competitive in terms of the market. So going back to the lifeguards, it was ridiculous to think that $11.25, what they were getting paid before, was okay. We couldn't get the lifeguards at
Right.
$11.25. I mean, the same thing here. I mean, if we're gonna keep lowballing, we're gonna end up with.
But you're not lowballing, you're giving them a 2%
It-
increase.
yeah,
what
well,
Mary
But I mean,
said-
the salary itself is.
To begin with,
Yeah.
instead of-
But
He
what Mary
accepted
says,
it
you
at that
have the
price.
flexibility to go before wage and personnel and say, well, this is more than what is stated here going forward. So it's not like you're dead in the water. You can go before and say, well, we need more money to keep this candidate or whatever. You have the flexibility to do that.
This way you go in front of town meeting, and you're gonna try to sell an 11% raise to the entire town, or whoever shows up at the town meeting. The other way, you just sell it, say, hey, this is what's been accomplished, we believe he's worth X amount of dollars, you're in front of wage and personnel, you're not in front of 100 people.
I see what
Okay,
you're
no, so
saying.
it's for the front, I get it, for the front. It looks good, it looks like we're being conservative,
Correct.
conscious.
Correct, and again, same thing as the lifeguards, they
Well,
were,
no, I
we're
want to be
paid,
progressive though.
and we went in front of wage and personnel.
I agree with you, Judy.
And
it's
proved
very
that it
difficult.
needed to come up.
Well, we also have line items on there that are looking at a 125% increase and, some that are.
That's a little
30,
different than
60.
payroll.
Well, it is, but I mean, it's still, you're looking at 11 to 120, I mean, again, it's all
That's.
split
I
hairs.
mean, we did double the advertising budget, but that's to bring more revenue in so we can do things like this.
Right,
You know, I mean,
well, we have to do that.
yeah, we have to.
The more revenue we can get, the higher we can raise that rate.
Okay. Any more discussion on this? Comments, questions, concerns, anything?
Hash it out on Wednesday. Or at least the beginning of it.
Well, we have to vote on it now, what
Motion's out,
we're putting
you'd also,
forward.
you'd also have to change your verbiage on that, you got to get rid of that 11% and that 50 and everything else, you've got to readjust that line based on what our
Your
votes.
explanation, you'd have to change.
Then you'd have to take 50 and put it down to 46 before that meeting.
And then change the percentage. But can we include verbiage in there that says, you know, at this time.
At this
Something-
time, we're doing this, at the later date,
Right.
based on
We'd like to.
Market conditions,
Yes,
we
we'd
would
like
like
to-
to explore this going.
with wage
Yes,
and
we need to
personnel.
put that in
thereon.
there because,
Yeah,
I'd like to leave it a little more open.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, we'd
absolutely.
like to explore, okay?
Definitely increase that.
That way you're giving them, to show them that you're trying to make the revenue come up to be able to pay them more. So therefore, they would look at it as
Okay.
a compromise.
So a motion has been put forth. Would you like to restate it, Brian? Present? Sorry.
Yeah, to change the, that particular.
Verbiage.
The verbiage to, do the base salary plus the 2%, which I don't have exact numbers, I have, I don't want to say it here, even though it's public knowledge. You're looking at approximately $896, I'm sure you can figure out what 2% of what you make a year is. I'm looking at $46K.
All right. With verbiage to include,
Well, yeah, right, with the verbiage to include that shows 2%, but also that we can revisit this with wage and personnel at a later date. And that would
to
also,
adjust,
To adjust.
To
market
adjust.
conditions.
Corrections, yeah.
to adjust according to market.
And
Right.
I think you just really should get the glass door thing out of there, because
yeah, that
you
doesn't.
really should remove that, because it doesn't look good.
You're also, comparatively speaking, you have Camp Kiwanee, which doesn't really relate to a lot of camps.
I mean, we have a unique
Well, it's,
situation.
I was just going on there using recreation director salaries, and that's the national average.
Yeah, but a lot of them are bigger than us, a lot of them have trailer parks, a lot of them have a lot more amenities than we do.
Right.
So I wouldn't put it in there because I don't think they're gonna like you comparing us to someone else. But you.
Well, I think
Well,
it's-
you have to.
But I also,
When you're seeking candidates, you know, you have
Right.
And I mean,
to get to that.
I would also take off the part about your administrative assistant almost making as much as you, because she's union, she's been in the town for a while. She also has overtime accrued in that, in your new AAs. not-
that's apples and oranges, a unique position.
I mean, she never put in for any overtime though, so her salary, how much she get paid, is based on just her
Her
20
time
hours.
sheet showed overtime.
It wasn't often.
It was enough. When you're making that kind of money and you put time and a half in there, she's making a good pay for that hour or half hour here and there.
How many hours do you have to work a week? I'm sorry.
40.
40 you do?
I thought it was 35 to 40.
No, all the other departments are 35, but.
Why
when-
are we 40 then?
I don't know, but that was
I didn't
in
know that
Mike's,
because I said 30.
in Mike's letter to me, it
35,
said 40, so I'm just going based on what he sent me.
That runs into where the town hall runs separately than.
I mean, based on what he sent me with my offer, it says 40.
You really can't compare a union position against. a
Yeah, I don't want to compare
position.
union with
It's
non-union.
it's not,
No.
It's apples and oranges.
and I know you do back her up, but it's.
Yeah, and I'm not saying, she's worth every penny, I'm not saying that I'm mad about that, I'm just saying as a,
But the new person coming in isn't gonna be making.
they won't be making exactly what she was.
So, it-
Right.
they're kind of.
Okay, does
maybe give them
anybody
a different outlook.
want to second Brian's motion?
Second.
Brian Smith has seconded it. All those in favor of changing the verbiage to include a 2% raise, to remove the reference to glass door? You can, I'd say you could keep the national average salary part, maybe just move to get rid of according to glassdoor.com, and to remove the reference to a union position, but also to include the possibility of adjusting this salary at a later date before wage and personnel.
And
So,
that covers every base.
okay.
I'm stuck.
All those in favor? All those in favor?
Aye. She's abstaining.
I'm abstaining, I'm sorry.
You're abstaining,
Yeah.
okay? Well, we need to take notes on the vote. One, do I get?
Hands up.
Right, pass.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, it was gonna pass. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, you are abstaining?
Yeah.
6.
No,
And
who didn't vote?
No, I'm voting,
So that's 6.
yep, 6, and then she was, I meant 5. And you're abstaining. Okay. Next.
While we're working off of this budget calendar, on here is a notation that the, on December 2nd, we're supposed to request the annual town report, which is usually what John does.
November, no, it's usually January.
January.
It has to be started now,
Yeah.
and then it has to be presented on January 10th.
Yeah.
So, in other words, he has to be notified, or whoever wants to do it has to be notified tonight. That's the start of it, request
I
for.
can do it again, yeah.
John is the pro there.
And then Friday, January 10th is when it has to be it has to be due.
Reported.
Except the problem is that we've got to make sure we have a meeting before January 10th
To review it.
to review it and approve it so that it can be then presented,
Well,
so. I don't know what the,
Well, it'll be at the beginning of January anyway.
I'm sure we would have.
we don't have another meeting until December 2nd is the last meeting we have to
We're
have
gonna
it.
set January.
Which is a code meeting, right? We're gonna do the code.
So what's the first?
The 6th,
Okay, so we have to do January 6th.
January 6th.
Did we
I
go
might
to
have a
16,
conflict on that
16?
night, but I can always give you the report.
Did you wanna start switching these to 6:15s, Diane? Since you have a problem, I know,
I just
traffic
can't.
and all that other crap.
Yeah, 6:15 looks much better for me.
Okay. We can do 6:30 if you want, it's up to you. 6:15's okay?
Yep, because as it is official, so 5 minutes.
They'll make it
late.
easier.
Yeah, the next
Julie,
meeting.
you too?
We just need to change the time on the agenda thing to 6:15.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else? Pat?
Yeah, did anybody reach out to, highway, maybe get some gravel for the driveway? Take care of it.
I will call them tomorrow. I did not reach out to them yet.
They probably use the crushed tire or whatever. I mean, they're gonna tear it up anyways when they're plowing, but.
I
Oh,
know,
it's already ripped
Worse
up.
out there.
I kind of feel like,
Yeah, it's kind of it's a win-lose situation. If you don't do it, then it's just gonna get deeper. If you do it,
the weather's been hard on us, okay? Anything else? Are we going through policies and procedures now?
Get the thing for the bathrooms, change the tables.
Changing tables?
Yeah, they're sitting in the office. I just have to work with Ed on when he can put them in.
Works for me.
My question, do people have their business plan notes or do I need to go print them?
Yeah, I have the ones from September.
Yeah, I have them on my phone, if you don't mind. Is that all right to like access them?
Oh.
Yes,
Okay,
absolutely.
It's just, I'd rather do that.
I mean, I printed out the policies and procedure stuff, I just didn't get a
I
chance
feel like
to
we
do that.
print that so much.
Yeah.
We need to stop printing.
Yeah, I mean, we did about, I threw out half a dozen copies.
Yeah, we need to just stop printing so much.
As long as everybody brings stuff.
Yeah.
I also don't want to not print it out and then
I know,
people don't
no,
bring it. and
I
then-
understand. I do.
So, if you want, you can take one of each and,
Okay.
so, one's,
So what are we doing first, policies and procedure?
so yeah, one copy is from Kate from town council, one is from Brian.
It's getting cold out here. Okay, so here's our updated policies. Look at that. Perfect, so there we go. Okay.
Okay,
I'm pretty sure I sent these out, but that's why I printed them.
You did. you absolutely did.
I got that.
You have that?
Okay.
Alright, so I can do it there. and I can-
Ryan, would you like to start?
And then this is her.
They're labeled
Yeah, well, one's labeled,
edits and one is labeled policies and procedures. Okay. Ryan, you want to start?
Oh, this has changed a little bit because
Now, to reiterate, do you want to say what's in the red versus what's in the blue?
Yeah, the red were regular changes to it.
By whom? By you.
I,
Yep, and the blue is by,
the blue, because when
is town council,
town
correct?
council had questions on certain areas of the one that I had updated, or maybe they felt things were missing, or needed to be added to it, I updated them with the blue. But I do have another update on top of that, and I was reading through the Town Administrator Act. On page 15, just so I can get this out of the way while it's fresh in my mind.
15 is the sign page.
Line 7.
Line 7 of page 15.
I have no authority outside of properly posted meetings of the committee.
It's actually gonna be page 14 on these, I'm sorry.
Which one, yours or the?
Page 14, line 7 with the one with the red highlight.
About
Red
the
and blue.
computer? On your edits or on the original, Brian?
The computer in the office is open. Is that what you want?
Page 15, line 7 through. This all got changed around, when it was reprinted.
What team doesn't have a line 7 on one of these with the red on it?
Number 7, address issues with, is that what am I looking
I'm
at?
trying to find the new section.
Brian, which copy are you looking at? The edit page?
The edit page.
I'm looking at,
The one with your edits or the other one, Brian?
I got that one, but
these are the ones with my edits.
there's line 7 on page 14, number 7 on page 14. There's
What's the
computer,
header of
and the office is owned by the town of Hanson.
That's it, okay. So it's on 14.
It's on page 14, number 7. Computer in the office is owned by the town of Hanson and used by the Recreation Commission. It will be utilized for all camp business.
Yeah?
What are the changes? What's
Okay,
the?
down bottom on that, which I didn't make a change to this, when I was looking at the Town Administrator Act, when you get into the
Will provide time?
Recreation Director does not have hiring authority but can choose interim employee until one is hired. First, we'll select a union employee, but if the union employees are not available, the Recreation Director
We'll select a non-union employee.
I put that in there to give them power, but we can't because that's the Town Administrator's job.
Okay, we'll take
So
it up.
I kind of stepped on, without knowing it, I stepped on the Town Administrator's role on that one. Even
Your
though it's in black.
intentions were good, don't
Yeah.
worry. Okay.
Trying to give you more
So
power.
that little section there would have to be taken out.
So the Recreation Director
We'll select a non-union,
does not
so,
have hiring authority, but can choose.
You'd pretty much be striking that, because that's in the Town Administrator Act.
So the whole thing.
Yeah.
so just take that whole section out. The recreation director and recreation director does not have hiring authority, but can choose an interim employee until one's hired. First, we'll select a union employee, but if not, no union employees were not available, then the recreation director will select a non-union employee.
Where would you find a non-union employee though?
When we put it out, an already established union employee versus a not already established union employee.
They could also use department heads. I was reading that too, but department heads can actually come down and help them.
Will the
Right, in
town,
an emergency
Will
home.
provide time for the substitute employee to be trained as necessary. The recreation director shall have full knowledge of the system if needed to assume the responsibility.
should we also take that town administrator part out, that sentence? Provide time for the substitute employee, because that's a substitute, it's not
Right.
a replacement.
But if the town administrator is responsible for putting in a substitute until we do have a
Okay.
person, then it needs to stay in.
Okay, all right, okay.
Okay, all right, anything else?
I thought we were gonna go page by page.
We are right, had to get that out of the way.
Okay, the mission has not changed. Can we move on from that?
Page 1, there shouldn't be any corrections on it.
Page 2, we're adding the word commission to the top header.
Right, instead of committee, it's commission.
Okay.
If you go to 2, the word, number 2 under that annual development, and it's not a written goal.
Just get rid of
Get
the A. Written goals and objectives plan. And 3, providing support, oversight, and guidance to the recreation director.
Right, and anything
The
that's
P
in
should probably
red
be
can
capitalized.
still be, can be entered in, because that's just to show that that's what the legal put in.
Okay.
Next page.
No, down here.
Then all you go to.
Wait a minute, number 7. Number 7, members speaking with the media shall comply with open meeting law and the town of Hanson's social media policies. Okay? That's speaking with the media.
I don't know who does.
May I just say it would be prudent to keep that in mind when even not speaking to the media and just speaking to Shaw's or anywhere else.
Just keep it mum for
Okay.
everything. Refer to the rec director, right? That's what we
Yeah.
really need to get into, refer
That's
to the
right.
rec director.
Number 3, coordinate and plan meeting agendas with the administrative assistant and recreation director. Okay.
Have to add 3. and
We
then
are
the-
under organization of the commission, so if you can.
We're under responsibilities of the chairman.
No, well, you just read the first,
Oh,
what she was saying.
okay.
Because everything else was the same.
Gotcha.
Then when you go to the responsibilities of all commission members, then this changes.
You are part of a small group given the responsibility. Question and review all proposals to determine if they are well prepared, well thought out, and will benefit the community. Okay? It's pretty subjective. Now, this what's in blue, is this what town council put, Brian?
Yeah, they had a question on, there was wording that they wanted in there, and they didn't understand why it wasn't, so I worked it the best I could, trying to find their page where they.
So,
Oh, I think that's talking about the.
subcommittees and teams,
Teams,
right, we
yeah.
call them teams, but we're not
Right,
calling them
I had to
subcommittees.
change, I had to
Right.
change that out.
Grants permissions to the individuals assigned to perform research, communicate with town boards, other commissions, committees, vendors, and/or any other resources that are needed to fulfill, add an extra L there on fill,
Yeah, easy.
the necessary duties within each team. The teams will work in conjunction with the recreation director, co-director, and administrative assistant as needed. The teams will aid Camp Kiwanee staff under the direction of the recreation director in coordinating events, necessary repairs, and staff assignments that may be needed to complete a task assigned. The team shall report monthly or bi-monthly to the Recreation Commission with any and all information and updates as needed.
Can I ask who's actually inputting all this in the computer? Who is doing all this inputting?
It was already in the computer, but then legal went, I went
This was
through it,
sent to
then I
town
went to
council.
legal, and it came back to us, and
Okay, but so all these things that we're adding to it, how are they going to be adjusted? Who's gonna be doing the
it's
adjustments?
gonna go back to legal.
Right.
Well, it's gonna go back to legal and then,
Right.
Anything that we approve or change,
Right,
okay?
and then if they find something wrong, they send it back to us, and
This is an awful lot of OT.
Yes, it is.
What does it need to be? I think we need to look at this very carefully.
when we get town council, obviously it's still being called, teams could still be construed as subcommittees, in which case,
that's why you have to be very careful. with your-
right, which is why to have that much in there about teams that could or could not be called subcommittees is walking a fine line.
In other words, it's a job
It has a
description.
lot of do nots, like you should not do.
I know, couldn't we just limit it to what the teams can do and we don't have to say what they can't do? Because if it's not stated in what they can do, then it should be implied that that's what they can't do.
They weren't looking for any type of implying of anything, they wanted
They
it
want
direct,
everything black and white.
correct.
Yeah.
That way nothing can be questioned.
Yeah, as far as vendors, contractors, I mean, that
Okay.
could be a slippery slope.
Is that what they said?
Okay, so,
Spending money.
yeah, so we basically, we're just doing the research part, just the
Right.
content part, that's all
And then you
we're
come back,
responsible.
same thing me and Brian have been doing forever, you come back, we get a price, we bring it back to everybody.
Right,
and
okay,
We
so like,
share the information,
okay, so that sounds sort of
Okay.
like,
but they, again, they were very, they picked it apart and they want exact. So that way if someone questions it, they have an answer, why they're back.
so I guess we can't really argue these legal, this
It's
is
legal
legal,
counsel,
this
I
is
know
legal
that.
counsel.
Well, I
so-
think when this, again, we'll see what they say, because she seems very, all she said, these likely constitute subcommittees under the OML. So, I mean, I said, we'll send it back and see what they say, but I think she's gonna have some pushback, just because having that in there without, you know, the recording of the minutes sets up the commission, well, more so the town, and I don't know if they're gonna let it.
Well, your thing is your teams are 2 people, they're not 4, and again, you're reporting what you're talking about to the next meeting. So you're not setting the quorum.
Merchandising? We have a merchandising, what are we selling?
Where we at?
Teams are as follows.
Yeah, technically without it.
Oh, promotion, yes, you can buy hats and stuff like that and so on.
I asked Todd and I got yelled at for even bringing it up.
I don't, that was.
Why? Because I see people all over town with CK stickers. My girlfriend has one of her.
I have one on my car, I don't think that they sold them.
They used to sell
What did they do,
t-shirts
Reggie?
and hats.
I found it in the desk, that's why it's on the car, but I don't.
No, my
I don't know what they-
girlfriend bought them.
Well, then what it was, is it was probably friends of Camp Kiwanee that were selling, not the actual camp. That's,
Okay.
We can pop them in.
yeah.
Yeah.
If you
It's a
go
word.
too far into the team thing, you're just gonna tie your hands even more to get anything done.
Yeah.
Because if you just can't have 1 or 2 people working on facilities or 2 people working on events,
Can we get,
then we're always gonna be meeting to do things, and it's just gonna take, it's not like we're not disclosing something, it's already voted on.
And I'm not against it, I'm just saying, so long as town council says, yeah, sure, I'm fine with it, I just don't want us to be in a position where we're trying to do something that we're not supposed to.
We also have to look at town council and
no school tomorrow.
one attorney can say one thing and another can say
All right,
another,
about
so.
11 o'clock then tonight.
No, we can't.
No, we need it.
Okay.
A lot of writing is up to interpretation when it comes to attorneys anyways. I could bring it to town council and say one thing, and if we have another town council, they could say completely different. So I mean,
Okay.
I don't see this getting us in trouble.
For now, can we just get rid of merchandising though?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. Social media, facilities, Cranberry Cove, administration, financial, rental policies, goals. That's a lot.
Well, those are separate teams.
Okay,
It covers the entire camp.
it certainly does. Okay. A meeting called for any time as a special meeting or emergency meetings. The purpose of these meetings are only if there is an urgent matter that needs to be addressed in between regular meetings. And who gets to decide when there is?
You're the chair.
Right,
Yeah.
okay,
So again, that falls right back into who sets the agenda.
right,
Because we've had to have, I think we had one.
yeah. Special commission meetings may be called provided the majority of members agree to meet and all commission members are notified. All special meetings will be posted in accordance with open meeting laws. However, doesn't an open meeting law, if it's an emergency meeting, what's the time frame between setting a meeting and posting the agenda if it's an emergency?
I think you have to post it within 24 hours.
Okay. I'm just gonna write this on my own.
Yeah, I think even if you don't, I think as long as you try your best to get it posted as early as
The Board of
possible.
Selectmen had something like that just occur recently.
Right,
Yeah.
I
I mean,
know.
we should maybe just use their
Right.
little, you know, pattern.
Okay, is there anything else anybody sees in here that they want to question, go over, comment on? I like that you included rec director in all of this.
That one now.
I'm sorry?
So we have one now.
Yeah, okay.
That was missing the previous years.
Good point. Bill, you see anything you want to question or? Quarry.
I mean, the only thing, well, like, submits operating budget to the town administrator by January 15th, I mean, we had to get the initial stuff in November 22nd,
Can we
so
just not put
I don't
specific
know.
dates and just put,
I would say maybe just taking out the date just because it's probably gonna vary year to year.
Right.
Within a few days, but
What page you on?
we're on page 5, under finances.
Finances.
The recreation director, upon approval of the commission, submits the operating budget to the town administrator by January 15th. Instead of saying January 15th, can't we just put by a
To
date?
town
That,
administrator.
if it's black, it's been in there, I didn't change it.
Let's just do by required date.
Yeah.
By
Required date.
required date.
Yeah.
Because she changed it this year because she had given her notice and she was hoping to have a new TA in
Right.
by that, so that's why everything changed. And then because of the fact of it all, it is 52.2 weeks or something this year. She did write a letter and explain why all the dates are different.
Yep. Okay. Under programming goals, objective is to establish and provide a variety of diverse, inclusive, year-round recreational programs that will enhance our community and all its residents. The commission will review programs as necessary and must give prior approval to add or delete programs. The recreation director will oversee all daily operations of the camp and cove, give direction, and work with administrative assistant, cove director, as well as all employees. If support teams are utilized, the teams are required to work collaboratively with the recreation director while using their expertise to assist and aid the recreational director. Just change it to recreation director. And the recreation director will be held accountable by the commission as required by the job description. That's true, but we should put something in there that also includes the TA.
one,
Accountable by or accountable to? It's
on
accountable
town
to.
councils, suggest they just said as required by contract.
Okay,
Because then that would mean that the contract is signed by the town, and I think it encompasses.
Department heads don't have contracts, that's why I had to put something in there. He's not a contracted position, he's not union or any of that, so I had the reporting board is, the commission is us. And then we go to the TA from there, so it kind of rolls uphill.
okay. Then we should put that in there, that the commission receives guidance from the town administrator then or something.
This is just for that.
The commission is advised. Yeah, it is. It sounds really close by too.
Somebody in a Jeep apparently just wanting to let us know they were leaving.
Job description.
Do we wanna put something in there that says the commission receives,
Guidance from the town administrator.
yes, receives recommendations and guidance? Okay. Volunteers may be subject to a query in compliance with town. In compliance with town. Shouldn't be other, should be with
Town.
town policies.
Town policies.
Yep. Okay. Page 6, line 4, smoking tobacco, marijuana. Wow.
Vaping has to be put in there too now.
Vaping's gonna be better.
Potentially ending the program if it was If it is the person running it. Town
Right,
council
they-
worded it like that?
They had a question, what if the person that's running the program violates the policy? So if the person running the program is out there smoking pot, then basically you get rid of their program.
Okay.
Wait a
they're running.
minute, can I just ask?
You get rid of the
Devil's advocate.
person, you don't get rid of the program.
We'll say Brian's the guy running, say, I don't know, bongo drum lessons,
Yeah,
and he's out there smoking pot,
yeah,
and he's the guy that's wearing an 80-20 split or any
Yeah.
program that's running, he's the only guy that's doing it, his program would have to go away because he has no one to replace it.
if that's the case, but this is pretty blanket.
What if I do
So it
better
says
with it?
if the person running the program, then that is found guilty, then that person, then the program has to stop because you're
Is it-
not able to run it.
They asked, what
Where
if it
does it
happened?
say that? It says smoking tobacco, marijuana, possession, and/or use of drugs will not be tolerated and will result in immediate suspension from the partner program, potentially ending the program
Person running it.
if it is the person running it.
Then you don't need anything when it tells you that, I think.
It's a tough one to word, what they were looking
It's
for.
legal. I mean, how do you?
Yeah, I know, why are they including marijuana? That is so much like a can of worms right there. I mean, if somebody, especially musicians, and
No.
they're using, I mean, seriously,
No.
for medicinal purposes.
No, because this is a municipal
Yeah,
building,
right,
it's just like in a
you can't
school, you
smoke
can't
pot,
smoke
yeah.
cigarettes around the school.
No, what I'm saying is possession of, like, say, let's say for example, possession of, if somebody were to say, oh, you have possession of this in your car, technically, you
No,
can.
smoking tobacco, marijuana,
And
and possession and/or use of drugs will not be tolerated.
Possession.
So don't bring it here, leave it home.
Drugs.
If it's in your car, for crying out loud.
Oh, we
I don't know,
don't
I just-
say
wow, I
anything
think
to
we're all
search a
of
car.
Well, but I mean, this is under the participants code of conduct, so
No,
I
it's
mean,
the
really.
employee too.
Yeah, but what if you have a gummy?
Yeah,
You're not smoking anything, right?
Well,
There's
use of
possession of
drugs,
marijuana.
right. Well, you don't want it to be given.
Illegal.
It doesn't matter, this is a policy.
But, well, I guess this is during the recreational
Yes.
program, because I mean, you can smoke
Oh,
in designated
On your own
areas, but it's
time,
just-
right.
Okay,
This is a
It's only
participant's
during,
code of conduct at recreational programs. So it's at recreational programs. It's during the time of the program.
right, but then number 5, so possession or use of alcohol is prohibited except approved by the commission in the lodge, pavilion, Pine Grove. So there are other recreational activities where you could smoke so long as you're in a designated area,
Well, it says
if you're
alcohol.
if you're of the age.
This is specifically for alcohol here.
I mean, maybe
Is there smoking?
maybe you can put smoking tobacco is only allowed by persons of age in designated areas, and then you can put the marijuana, possession, use of drugs as a separate one. So it's-
Are there designated smoking areas here?
yeah, there's,
You can push them towards that, like
Yeah.
the state, in that way.
Yeah,
It's mentioned somewhere else.
That way,
yeah, I think,
if they're out on the cove, and that's not a designated area for smoking, you've covered yourself.
Right, you can't smoke in the cove, you can smoke outside
in
the
the
gate.
parking lot, yeah.
Yeah.
Anywhere there's.
If you push them to the designated smoking areas, I don't think you have to
Right,
worry
but
about
again,
any.
we're talking about specific functions, and we're not just talking like, Jack can't, be up here smoking a cigarette on the porch if there's nothing going on. We're talking like if someone's running a program or you're part of
Right,
a
we're talking
program.
during the time that a
Right.
recreational sponsored program is running.
Right.
So do we need to maybe reword this? Should we talk to town council a little bit on this, or what?
Well, I think this just
Well,
needs,
the blue
maybe
is
if we
not-
say program instead of event, because if it's like a comedy night or something, yeah, people
Okay.
can go out and have a cigarette or.
Okay.
It does say program.
So how would you want to put that in, Bill?
It does say program.
Yeah, it says ending the program, so
All this, the blue is her.
we can say will not be tolerated during recreational programs, and then that way we know specifically
Program.
it's an event that we're hosting that's most likely for kids, and obviously kids shouldn't be smoking or doing drugs.
Well, it does say department program, but that's her, the blue is her writing, so.
So I guess the word potentially covers it.
What it
There's
is,
no-
she had a
there's no
question, like, what do you do if the person
Right.
smokes a joint and was running the program? What do you do then, was her question.
Right.
You have to, have
Well, if
to.
you took marijuana out of that, I mean, you put it under the possession and use of drugs, it's covered. You don't have to put that in there. It's,
Marijuana, I think that's.
Yeah, you can take
so
marijuana.
many things.
it's still under the use of a drug. You don't have to
Right.
have specific.
Yeah, it's not like you can smoke a doobie at town hall. Again, we're a municipality, you can't come in here and light up in the bathroom. You can try it,
Can we just say in possession and use of all drugs, legal and or illegal? No, not, well, no, illegal drugs.
Yeah.
You just can't say legal. like that.
Yeah, cause somebody could have a, you know,
Well, marijuana
prescription
is
for.
legal, but I don't want somebody who's high as a kite running a program with a bunch of kids around.
No, and that
that's
goes
not
on
good.
there,
Yeah,
yeah,
no, I
sure.
mean, of course not, but I mean, if, no.
But
it just
shouldn't-
becomes
But
Oh.
that's
So
covered
that's-
under use of drugs, I mean,
illegal use of.
Isn't there?
I mean,
There's other,
Use of drugs is
there's other
covered.
references for smoking and everything else on
All
the
right,
next page, 2 pages,
So that's.
Cause then there's a whole
no
program
smoking,
and
no
event policy.
drug
The legal word that-
use, et cetera.
That's, 'cause
Okay,
we're,
so,
yeah,
we're trying to word something that we're not
yeah.
lawyers.
Yeah.
okay.
yeah, just the smoking stuff, it's in a few different sections, so then it gets just, cause then it's on page 7 in regard to,
Is that in our,
General.
so why isn't it coming up that I can have a message? Okay.
Oh, this, on page 8, it says, no smoking in the presence of individuals attending an event or participating in a program. Caretakers and staff must be kept reasonable distance from attendees, program, or event while smoking. Designated smoking areas during the events are outside the art house, lower parking lot outside the firehouse, and upper parking lot.
what's the art house?
That crafts
Oh,
cafe.
For the dumpster.
Gotcha.
The reason why that's in there, and only because I've seen it happen, I won't mention names, but you got a caretaker here for a venue, they're out there on the porch smoking a pot and people are pulling into the event.
Yep.
It doesn't look good.
Okay. Administrative assistant shall be on location for the duration of all events for safety and security, yep. Caretakers and/or staff shall not smoke on the deck or lodge area. No smoking in the present, okay. Yep,
Yeah, they asked me to, they said there's the designated areas to smoke, so I figured we're gonna come up with something that's away from people, far enough away.
So that's just for K-Tech.
okay, so here's what we were talking about earlier on page 8. All event and vendor services need to pay a minimum of Camp Kiwanee's cost for services provided for their programs. Example, at minimum, the caretaker's salary must be paid for all events. In the case of vendors, the agreement percentage or caretaker's salary, whatever the greater amount is. That's legal, so,
That's what has to be
She
put
asked
into
about
her.
that, so I.
so we have to start putting that into contracts.
Mhm.
Okay, well, she wrote the legal. Camping code passes for overnight rentals is based on each cabin's capacity. For example, a cabin is rented that houses 6, that rental is able to receive a maximum of 6 free admission passes to Cranberry Cove for their nightly rental. See Cranberry Cove Rule 5 for clarity on what allows a free cove pass.
And explains it a little bit
Can we
more.
can we get rid of the cove passes with camping?
I don't think that's fair.
Really?
I don't. I think if you're camping here, one of the draws here is the cove. We have so other little to draw them that should be included,
And mind you, we don't even really push that, which we should, because, you know,
I think.
free day at the Cove.
I mean, if you're
cabin for the night.
camping here, you shouldn't, I mean, every other campsite you go to
It's part of it.
includes the
That's
water.
part of it, was the water, yeah.
Right, well, and I guess, yeah, if we're looking at, you rent a cabin for $40. If you just got 6 day passes, that's 30, so technically, yeah, we're making an extra $10.
I just, I
But
mean,
there's
unless,
also- And there's also a limit, there never used to be a limit, it was pretty much if you rent a cabin, so you can have like 8 people crammed into a cabin and all of a sudden,
yeah.
you have 8 Cove passes going on free, that's like.
No.
She
I
wanted
mean,
to
if
be
we wanna
very
talk
specific.
about raising the price to camp.
Let's get
Well,
campers
so-
first.
Right, we
Let's
don't
not do
even
that.
have enough campers, so I mean,
Let's just
that's what I
have
mean. I
to
think we just need to leave it the way it is for now, but I think until we have other draws here, the water is a major draw.
Mhm.
So I don't think we should take it away. That is just my opinion. If anybody else would like to discuss it. All right, military deployment booking, active military personnel that have been or are being deployed and will interfere with their rental will have an extended amount of time beyond the current 1-year allotment. Proper deployment documentation must be provided for this extension. This requires a vote from the Recreation Commission. Wouldn't it also require a vote from the Board of Selectmen, or no?
Yes.
No, it's just us. When we, like, say someone does a rental, they wanna cancel, they cancel a rental, they have a year to
So it's
re-rent.
part of the
It's
policy,
just
right?
us.
Okay, it's just us, okay.
Because we're not asking for free, we're not.
We're not asking, when they're not asking for their money back, they're asking for an
Correct,
extension.
just to change
Okay.
the rental.
Swimming and use of the cove is prohibited when a lifeguard is not on duty. If a program is run at the cove, an additional lifeguard fee will be charged. The cove is not covered under a vendor contract. Why not?
Because it's.
Because you need it according to Jerry. This has been around for years. Jerry wants a lifeguard down there if you're using the cove. If you're on the cove,
I have no problem with the lifeguard. I'm talking about the cove is not covered under a vendor contract.
well, because you're not paying a caretaker to do it, you're paying more for a lifeguard to be down there.
Right,
But a vendor contract is like what you have with yoga.
I understand that. But what I'm saying is what if somebody wanted to do something like that at the beach?
You'd have, like, you.
Well, you're right,
you'd
it's
be
a
charged
contract.
For an extra.
But wouldn't we use a vendor contract?
For
Well,
them themselves, but they're trying to say the cove itself, the
We
word
would
cove
supply the
is not a
staff,
vendor
yeah.
contract,
We would
not the
supply
person
staff.
who rents it.
Okay.
Technically, I mean, we don't need guard if people are swimming. Like, if they're on the beach, you don't need,
No, he wants it down there.
There is
Happy
no
like
roads
that,
down
yeah.
there.
Just, even if there's a birthday party and we're just gonna be standing, we're not gonna allow swimming, he says, I don't care.
hey, Jerry says so?
It's so odd.
I'm not gonna argue with Jerry.
Which is trail to the boathouse is permitted only in the event that the individual or group has rented the entire camp. A lifeguard is on duty and with an agreement with the Recreation Commission. A vote of the Recreation is needed to allow any group use without the building.
Which
Okay.
one was that?
Number 2 under primary
Oh,
code.
I got you.
she got very good, and this is where kind of a lot of this stuff is where town council doesn't understand the different parts of Camp Kiwanee, like, they don't understand, I had to write in trail to boathouse, because she's like, where? You know what I mean, so, some of it was just like, where is this area, where is that?
Then we have to clearly mark the trail on the boathouse,
Yes.
Yes,
okay? And by the way, you always need to put a space between a parentheses and a word.
It's not me, on number
argue
19.
with my spell check about this, okay?
Just
I like, is number 19 doubled in the thing?
number 19?
Yeah, there's 2 number 19s. The beach director may assign the responsibility to open and close the beach. Remember?
What page you on?
No, it's in the same, under code, like you, under Cranberry Code.
Yeah, that's 2 pages ahead, we have.
I have 2 19s, but they're different, they each say different things, so it's the numbers that are off.
Or is it supposed to be in one, is it supposed to be together?
So the beach director may assign the responsibility to open or close the beach to a member of his or her staff on which he will not be present at the beach. No recreation commission member has the authority to close or open the beach on his or no one will be allowed to close the beach. The beach director, caretaker, and recreation director are required to close the beach during the following conditions. Is that one, isn't that supposed to be one paragraph, or there's 2? That's weird, it's all about beach closing.
19 and 19A, or?
Yeah, is that one thing?
Yeah, it's 2 19s.
Is that supposed to be a beach, because one is beach.
That's a simple change, if you wanna make it number 19 and 20 and bump everything else up 1, or do you wanna make it 19 and
I'll do
19A?
19A.
and 20.
Fine, 19 and 19A?
Yeah,
Fine, okay.
What beach closing?
look at, for a few hours of looking at this stuff,
Yeah, I don't blame you.
your head kind of starts.
This is a lot of work.
You skipped over page 9, where it has about the free code passes are included with.
I just read that.
I'm sorry.
And the hourly, yeah, and the,
Yeah,
right.
no free passes with hourly rentals.
okay, number 10 here, where it says all renters must notify the staff member on duty of their arrival.
Okay.
Check-in time is stated on application. A caretaker will greet renters if so stated in rental agreement.
Weird.
Okay,
Number
well,
10 on page 11.
Oh.
Sorry. Am I going ahead?
I'm just kinda skipping.
I'm sorry, I'm skipping. I'm scanning myself, I should not do that, I'm sorry.
That had to do with that, it was only added because of the situation.
Situation before, right. I didn't know if we should put something in there that so that also has to go on the contract. That if they're checking in during regular check-in
I
times,
think it is in the contract.
a staff member will be there. If they are checking in outside of stated,
Well, but they should
You
be
can't,
checking
right, you
it.
can't.
right,
Yeah,
but that's what happened with that lady,
right.
and we as a result gave her her money back.
Well, she did a pretty good job of jumping all over that contract, is what she did. But we could have still said no.
Right.
But it just wasn't
It wasn't
our
worth it.
obligation to fight against.
But I think whoever the new AA is, we have to go over it they have to go over the contract very, very explicitly and explain the way the camp runs, Bill, on a daily basis, like that, if it's not a busy time, there very well may not be somebody here. If you would like somebody here.
Well, I think maybe we could charge for early check-in.
There you go. Fine, but then we have to make sure somebody's here.
But do we now also have to get that approved and go to, I mean, that's technically,
We would have to get that approved, allowed to
Board of
do that,
Selectmen?
yes, we would. But if it's
If
something
we-
you wanna look into for the future,
because we could do that, like, the check-in time is 3 o'clock, if you wanna check in any earlier than that, maybe make it $10 an hour for each hour you wanna check in before that. So if you wanna check in at noon, well, it's gonna be an extra $30, or,
A lot of camps do that for early check-in fees.
okay,
But you gotta make sure you have the staff.
staff has to be here.
And we're not even close to.
Right.
Yeah, it should be full.
Yeah.
Well,
it is all
Light
stuff.
years away.
Right.
Touch.
I wish we were there, but.
Launch overnight in the safe.
Very bad.
What page you want?
I'm still on page 10, sorry.
question on number 11, I thought per Board of Health, RVs was not allowed at all.
Recreational vehicles, pop-up tents and campers are not allowed on the premises unless approved by the Recreation and the Board of Health, Board of Selectmen.
That's an
Well-
old rule, but they came up with that rule after bluegrass on the bogs.
Right,
I didn't touch it because who knows, I mean, the board of selectmen can't trump us and say,
you can allow it,
right,
right,
Can we leave that in there, just so it gives us flexibility?
right,
it's in there just to cover us, but that's been around since the audit.
right.
And they threw that in there once the audit got done, that's why I didn't touch it.
Let's
Because I was
leave it
like,
in.
well, they're not supposed to be here anyways, but
But if somebody.
Special circumstances, and it gives us some flexibility.
Right, and I think that's something that should be put on the site when we get more people camping here that, talk to us about pop-up tents and campers. I mean, we don't have the capacity to handle recreational vehicles.
And the tents are allowed, because we have tent sites.
We have tent sites.
just not the pop-up, nothing on wheels.
Oh, that's, okay.
They're
that's
talking, right.
okay.
I don't think you're gonna get that anyway, you have no
No,
problem.
Right.
You
No,
know,
but we've had a
basic is
couple weddings though, where families traveling, and they come down in an RV, and the guy wanted to he wasn't gonna hook up, obviously, because we don't have a hookup, he wanted to park in the parking lot. And after talking with Teresa, she's like, absolutely not, it's Board of Health, so I had to tell them that.
It's because of the septic issue, it's all of that.
Well, it's that, and you also have conservation,
Right.
what if they have a leak?
Yeah,
Exactly.
and that's,
Now you're gonna have Phil Clemens down there beating down the door. also.
Right,
so maybe
and
there's a way to
rightfully
say,
so, because he does a great job.
like the VW buses don't have bathrooms or anything, so something like that, obviously, we don't have to worry about environmental issues, nothing's gonna leak.
Right,
So maybe there's a way with that, because again, somebody that's looking to do, I think your September and October wedding 2020, said they may have family coming down in those, and they said, if we're renting out the campground, can they sleep in that in the parking lot? And I said, well, the short answer is no, because I was told no recreational vehicles, but I said, I'll
check in
see,
with
yeah, I'll check with those where they don't have bathrooms and stuff like that.
But you may be able to rent out McLaren parking lot.
Walmart's on the corner.
Okay, moving on. Can we go to page 12?
Yep.
down at 13, the 10% discount. Address verification for residents seeking any town discounts must be in the form of a valid Massachusetts license with their current address printed, not on the little sticker on the back. Is that what you want, or do you want the little sticker on the back?
I think this was one of the notes that Lon had sent me, because I guess people will come in and they'll give you the license. That's why we added in a copy of the motor vehicle excise bill, stamped copy of registered voter form, something. In other words, if you're in the office and it's not, you don't think it's legit and it just has it handwritten in, you can ask for additional forms of.
Okay, all right.
Do you know what's frustrating about that in terms of paperwork is that like if you rent the camp a few times like I have, the paperwork is repetitive. I always have to like, I wish there was a way where somebody was like a renter that, or an organization that was constantly renting, that we could say, you know, well, let's cut out some of the bureaucracy, we have you on file. Do we file any of this stuff? Because it's just,
Our computer system is not capable of that yet.
Oh.
That's something that was also part of the audit that we haven't even remotely touched upon, because we're not near it. We're really not.
Right, well,
Maybe once we're connected to town hall, then you'll be able to, we'll have a bigger base to store everything. And you just pull up John Zuko's name, and here comes his old file on, you can erase whatever's here and reprint it.
There's data and security.
Right.
Yeah, it's just, I
You
know,
don't have
it's a
the
slippery
infrastructure
slope
for
these
it.
days.
I mean, we're still in the 1960s here at Camp Kiwanee.
We are. Okay, no refunds will be issued unless there are extenuating circumstances beyond one's control. All avenues must be exhausted in rebooking the event prior to consideration. If the rental is rebooked, it must be for the full value of the previous event and rebooked within 1 year of the original rental date.
That would have to do with another rental we had
Right.
where someone had a wedding, wanted to change it to a birthday.
Right, right.
No.
So
There's no money going back to them.
Yeah.
In other
Right.
words, but the one that did it, that didn't want any money back, that went through, remember you changed?
Should we say that again, some of this is subject, that, because a refund like that would be subject to Board of Selectmen approval?
I think somewhere in here it says everything is subject to us, and it
Okay.
probably says it like 50 times, because sometimes the legal will come back and say repetition.
Yeah.
Well, you know what, I'd rather have it too many times than not enough.
Yeah, that's already there, subject to and approved by.
number 15, are you looking at that one?
No, it's,
But you said no refunds will be issued, is that what you're looking at?
yeah,
And then at the bottom it says it must be voted by and approved by the
it
Recreation
doesn't say that on the
Commission.
paper copy.
Board of- This is the most updated,
Where you at?
this is the most updated one.
Okay,
So on the thing that, the most updated one that I received online, it says for number 15, no refunds will be issued unless there are extenuating circumstances beyond one's control. All avenues must be exhausted in rebooking the event prior to consideration. If the rental is rebooked, it must be for the full value of the previous event and rebooked within 1 year of the original rental date. If a refund is considered in partial or in full, it must be voted on and approved by the Recreation Commission and Board of Selectmen.
okay, good, okay.
I think she took that out and said because it was repetitive. From there, and it's because it was
Yeah, she hit me on
half a
the
dozen.
repetition.
Okay,
And I'm
That
like,
was a
I'd
repetition.
rather have, I'd rather have it too many times.
I agree.
That way somebody can't say, but it doesn't say it there.
because people,
You know?
right,
No, it's-
I agree.
But yeah, she was.
I think it
nailing
should
the
be in there.
repetition.
Yeah. well,
I think it should stay.
Okay, so it'd have to be added in.
Yeah, tell me.
Okay,
I would like to put it back in number 15.
Yeah,
so you almost, that's almost out of date.
Oh,
she put.
Darn it.
on
So
that
the
petition.
one you have is the one that went to town council,
and then,
came back with the changes, and then
And over to the right, it says repetition.
there should
yeah, but we like repetition.
And she,
I do, but I didn't,
I just think when you're dealing with the public, it should say it in as many places as
I
possible.
agree.
it's right. This
It's
is-
over.
But again, that's where your
This
interpretation
is
of.
case.
It's oversight.
Right.
Um,
And then is there the other one as well? Oh, this
Can we
one.
move on?
Yeah.
Yep.
You already have
Subcontractor
a copy, right, Joe?
services.
I've got everything right here. I have about umpteen copies.
I was gonna,
Those are the extras I put
Okay.
there.
perfect, so yeah, I just gave,
Okay, so we've got the 1-day liquor license that has been issued. I think we're good with that. Employees.
Okay,
Review with the recreation director and the town administrator if the town administrator is available. The recreation director shall have an annual interview with the recreation commission. Annual review. To ensure a professional and identifiable appearance, all employees are and shall be assigned uniforms that are required attire while on duty. There are collared event administration uniform shirts and non-collared facility shirts. When caretakers work both facilities and events, different shirts will be provided as warranted. No exception to this rule unless uniform. Have been damaged and awaiting replacement. Upon leaving employment, assigned shirts shall be returned to the camp.
We had that when Teresa was here, it was just never put on the policy.
Right, signed
That's-
shirt, ew, like, you're gonna take back somebody's, what?
Uh,
What is that?
That's what we talked about back then, because the shirts cost a fortune.
Yeah, they do.
You're gonna take somebody's worn uniform and give it like,
Yolanda, what is it, Saver or whatever?
When you work at a McDonald's or a
You're
Burger
giving the
King
uniform
or
back.
something, you're given a uniform and you have to send it back.
but the uniforms we're talking about are lifeguards, right? Who else is that?
No, no,
Yeah.
lifeguards, no.
No,
No,
makes
this
sense.
is,
What
no, this is
uniforms?
for staff, to get
caretakers, so
Caretakers.
they have a regular.
They have
just
shirts.
one
shirt,
shirt.
And then they have a
The
polo
polo
shirt.
They have a collared, like an ISO shirt for a wedding.
Weddings.
Then they have t-shirts for facility stuff.
All
All right, not our biggest issue.
You don't have to reissue them, but you don't want them out there, like I work for utility, we don't want people out there with our,
And coming to the camp saying I work here.
walking around with, things that say Camp Kiwanee and they don't work for the town. I mean, you can take them back and throw them in the fire, but you shouldn't have them out there.
Okay. Credit cards will be.
I was gonna say on that, I definitely, on the collared shirts for events, I mean, I think if they're here and there's no events and they're just doing work,
Should be green.
I mean, not everybody has every color in their order, I mean,
Give it to them. The campgrounds I've been to, the one thing I have noticed and I've respected is I know when there's an employee there,
cause they have a shirt.
because they have a shirt, and if you're not an employee, you don't have a shirt. So if someone comes here, say on a walk or whatever, they don't know Jen, they don't know Bill, they don't know anybody, maybe they have a question or whatnot, they don't know who to go to. So I just, again, you guys,
Well, no,
do what you want, but I think that if you're on duty, you should have a uniform on. So if someone does come here, there is a go-to person at all times. It looks more professional.
it does.
Okay, anything else on policies and procedures that anybody needs to go over? Because I'm done with
It's 14.
it. Yeah.
Come on,
And-
they just got started.
And I'm sorry to bring it back real quick to page 12. But again, for the lodge rental application with the security deposit stuff, because it doesn't say it on the application, so that's something that's gonna have to change if it's in policies and procedures.
Right.
Because on the application itself, it says $1,000 across the board. It also says that on the website.
Which number is it?
Number 6 through, I guess,
Okay, security deposits. These have
Yes.
been around for, again, I didn't add these
Yeah.
because they're in black.
Right.
The
Yeah,
20% was added actually 2 years ago.
Oh, for a
Okay,
function,
and it
oh,
was
yeah, I
approved
hate that one.
on the policies and procedures
For the
the
Board of
last
Selectmen.
time we did it, okay, so by the Board of
I
Selectmen.
just like that
And
one
that's
so much.
that's the line that I mentioned to when Lon was here about it, and she said, well, it's not on the contracts, and I said, then add it as an addendum or something.
We need to.
we'll have to add it to the, but also the rates form that's on there. Cause on the rates form, it says security deposit $1,000 across the board.
Right.
Well, here's the thing. So the security deposit is $1,000 because, and she explained this. So for example, when there was the St. Patrick's Day dinner and the Irish step dancers, damage to the
Kill the
floor.
floor, yeah.
Now, the event, for them to rent the place only cost the $450, or maybe even that was waived or lower.
They didn't want it, yeah.
And so we can't have it be a percentage of $450, because that wouldn't cover any damage.
The 20% is for like bereavements, bridal showers, not for weddings, not for any big events. It's strictly for the small events that don't
I
cost you
think the
that much
complaint was
to
it
put
was a
on.
birthday party here, and they're like, so you get $1,000 for a $400 birthday.
Right.
That's,
I understand that, but it's for damage that could occur.
Well, so, but I mean, moving forward to rent this lodge, you're not, a lot of people get turned off. They're like, nope, not hosting anything there. Just think about it, like, you know, anybody that, like, I'm hosting my son's graduation here. and
Yeah.
we're paying that, and, you know, and I understand I get it back, but it's, who's gonna do that?
It is big to shell out.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
should only
it's
be
a treasurer's check, by the way, treasurer's check, so you have to
you
go
should
with
be
the
20%
treasurer's
for
check.
that, because of the cost
Is
of graduation.
$500 a better, less sticker shock?
I think it's more,
I mean,
You
you're not gonna, you gotta have something, but if people say 1,000, that's sticker shock. But what about 500? I mean, that's not a big deal.
Yeah, but on the number 6, that's where it comes into the 20%. You shouldn't have actually put 1,000 down under policies and procedures, you should have put 20% down, so if it was 400, you did 20%. And I
So
understand
$80.
the
It'd be $80, and then
That's
Well,
not even an
it's
incentive to
$400.
not damage anything, and that doesn't fix anything
No,
if it does get damaged.
I'm not disagreeing with you, but also on the contracts, if you do damage, it's not like the town can't go after someone and.
yeah, you
Same
should
with
legally get
claims.
some.
I think that's why it was put in.
You know what?
It does say on the contracts, like you always, well, it does say even in here that if you do damage, you're responsible. And
Okay,
it
that you're
doesn't have to-
responsible, but then by the time we pay legal counsel or anybody else to go do it, the time it would take, you know darn well that money's not coming back to our budget. If somebody, you know, gouges the floor, or a wedding gets rowdy and a toilet gets busted or something.
Or they
I
let
mean,
a cabin on
Wedding
fire.
costs $1,000.
Exactly.
But it's gonna cost more than $1,000 anyway.
Right. so
But it's more of an incentive for them to make sure nothing happens. They lose $1,000.
So you're thinking if it's more punitive, I guess that's like, I don't know if that's a deterrent, exactly.
Well, I mean, we can again, it's been, it was put in.
I'm just
there.
presenting the flip side.
Oh, no, I mean, it was put
So-
in there for a reason, and it was, I think it was definitely.
What does that
reason
turn
control.
people,
Yes,
is it turning people away from family events,
Yes.
birthday parties? They see 1,000.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I mean,
That was with it when it came.
that's what I'm saying.
Right, I agree
That's a
with you.
big sticker thing,
So
if
maybe
you're
we-
having a small.
I agree with
family
Maybe
event.
weddings 1,000, non-weddings 500, then that's just black and white.
Yeah, it's
one
less-
or the other, then it's
Sure.
not, okay, 20% of your $400 event. And actually, maybe this is more saying 20% of the 1,000, so
That's
it's
a
200, and
200%
it's still.
price hike. I mean, you're paying $450, right, say for an event here, and then you're being asked for $1,000. Like, it's 200, and what percentage is that? Over 200% hike from like the cost. so.
I'm presenting the flip
Yeah.
side is what
So I
I'm
think
saying.
No, I
why
can
not
think, I mean,
this?
if you come in here, you have a $400 birthday, and you kick the toilet off the wall,
That's what I mean.
so I mean, I understand what you're saying.
We got like a
Yeah.
$400.
Not that I think
shower.
any of that is going to happen, because I don't.
Well, you have a
and I-
caretaker there too.
It's too bad that, you know, in our contract, we don't charge people event insurance. And event insurance is about $175. But you would have to, and this is of course not gonna happen, because then you'd have to bid for an insurance company to come in and provide that service. A lot of places do that. When you rent their place, they make you purchase, especially if you're doing like an expo.
It's
They
like a
make
one-day policy.
Yeah, a one-day
So
policy.
that's something we might need to look into then.
That's
for
So
later.
much, I mean, then it covers all of our needs, because if the damage is $40,000, it's in that policy.
Mm-hmm.
And then they can make the choice
Just
even
like
if
renting
they'd
a car.
rather pay $1,000 deposit, or if they'd rather pay the $175, or just leave it at the $175 for the
Yeah, I think it
Look,
should.
if we had if there was a way to do the insurance, that would be great, because yeah, then
You're lowering the cost.
you're lowering that.
And people are used to that, and it's so much more like, it's a better sell, you know, so when you're signing, you're like, yay, this is a beautiful place, it's only $450, and then they come in with, oh yeah, by the way, $1,000 treasurer's check.
Okay, but if we
Yeah.
say, so if it's $450 and the one-day insurance is $175.
Okay.
I think
Are we
most
giving them
people
a-
will say that.
Well, so they're paying the 175, they're not gonna get that back at all, but they didn't have to front 1,000 to then get. So I guess maybe if you put both options out there,
But,
if
but,
we're allowed to do it.
but no insurance can't be an option and no deposit cannot be an option.
They have to do one or the other,
They
it's
have to
either
do
a
one or
security
the
deposit
other.
or the
Can
insurance
we
policy.
come back to that, because I'd like to call a few places, your facilities, and see what they do.
That'd be great,
Yeah.
John. Yeah, I think that's
We see what
something.
they
we
do.
could do.
Progressive sells wedding and event insurance.
No.
Of course.
Well, and
I've been
then,
asking people.
and it's probably something that.
Whether
we
you're
could
planning
get
your big
through
day or hosting a
Right.
charity five
Yeah.
Okay, go
And
next.
we can
I
probably.
did the Barrows last
Hold on,
February, I don't
175
put any
is-
security deposits down or anything, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, people would spend that money back just so that they.
No, they're not.
John, you snuck in first.
No such thing.
If we can do it,
Let me call a few places and find out what their policy
I
is.
mean, if-
Cause I think that's crazy, yeah, that's $1,000, right?
Okay, so we're gonna
Yeah.
put this, put number 6 and 7 and 8
On hold.
Yeah.
on hold.
Yeah.
Six.
Okay. On hold.
Mhm.
Gives me enough time to have a headache to go on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just really need to finish this meeting, okay?
Sorry.
Well, can I make a suggestion, you guys, it's 8:30 now,
Mhm.
and I know we
We've been here
really,
for 2
really need to
hours.
try to keep these things at
can we
8
get the
o'clock.
policies and procedures?
Could Well, yeah, could we continue next meeting and just say we need to continue? No, the next meeting is the code. Can we table the rest of policies and procedure?
We're
and
almost done.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
you did nothing.
You can table the business plan.
We are definitely tabling
Yeah.
this. Sure.
So yeah, we got, I
Just
think,
saying.
I think we're done with
We're
this.
pretty
You got
much
what,
done
13 or
anyway.
15?
Okay, let's
Yeah.
get this. Okay, page 13? Are we all on page 13?
Yeah.
11, I mean,
Okay,
13.
page 13? Did you just tell me?
No, I did not on TV. Not on TV.
not yet.
After.
Nothing irks me more than when I hear kids telling me to shut up. Okay. Okay. So the only thing there is fees of the news can be waived in application by a vote. Recommendation. Did she say that was okay on number 3? Fees of this nature can be waived in rare occasion by a vote of the Recreation Commission?
Wait, you know.
Page
13.
13, number 3.
Yeah, so
Donating use of facility?
Mhm.
Okay.
Oh, wait a minute, so like if a town department, like police, wanna do something here,
Yeah.
between Tuesday and Thursday, they can use it free?
Yeah,
Yeah, if we
That's
vote
like-
on it.
Oh.
that's like Phil Clemens, he had a conservation commission type meeting here.
Right,
And
we didn't
same
charge.
thing, we didn't charge.
We don't charge for the phone.
But you
Same
can,
for-
if you want, charge. In other words, if someone comes in, like, let's say 200th anniversary comes in, and wants a little freebie.
Okay.
They're technically not a town department.
They're not,
Right,
we
they're not.
kinda went back and forth on that, and I said, well, the town's giving us money, blah, 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 and I tried to argue it out a little bit, but it didn't work. We could say, well, we still can charge you a cleanup fee, or we can.
With like
Right.
a caretaker fee or.
Right.
Right,
Mhm.
which we can't.
Right, which we can.
Okay. All right, moving on, the one-day liquor license is, that makes sense.
Yeah, she
And,
wanted the specific words in there one day.
good. And then under employees, annual review, we did that.
Oh,
Different
yeah.
shirts, we went over.
Yeah.
Okay, page 14. We were getting rid of that paragraph in number 7
Mhm.
Wait,
and
which one?
everything. Page 14,
Yeah,
number 7, we got rid
Oh,
of the
that whole thing,
paragraph.
that whole thing.
And,
Well, can we at least just keep the computing office owned by the town of Hanson, should we at least?
oh yeah, all that's
The
being
top
kept.
part is just the bottom.
It's
the
just
bottom
this
half.
here, here,
Recreation director.
the recreation director,
Oh, okay,
it's just from there,
gotcha, okay. Yep,
okay?
sounds good.
That's, that, again, that was because it's in the town administrator act. I think we stepped on it.
Mhm.
Okay,
Or I stepped on it.
And then all emails, number 8 looks fine.
Good, that's it.
Number 9 is easy because the administrative assistant and the rec director should be totally on there.
Yeah. We
Commission,
really don't have many cards.
these services should be inclusive and available, okay? And the rest of it looks good. I think social media policies, I think it has to be capitalized, but I'm not sure. It's a proper now. Okay.
Social media policies?
Yeah, it should be capitalized.
I should remember that when you go to the English class. Which will be done.
What was that?
It was not my strongest topic at all.
That's all right. Okay. Brian, I want to thank you. That was a lot of work.
Yeah, yikes. It is
Thank
painful.
you, Joan, because I'm sure you had a lot to do with it too. Okay,
The
Okay.
toughest one was trying to translate her underlines crossing out, and she did in such small print, you couldn't even read it.
yeah, hers is in very tiny print.
You
I noticed.
needed the magnifying glass to be able to tell which word she wanted in, which word she didn't want in.
Can I
Okay.
ask you, is this possible to put this on our website?
It's going to be once
It would be
approved.
once we approve
Okay,
this.
but all this stuff can go on our website?
It's going to be
Yeah.
once it's
It's
approved.
already on it.
It's already on there, yeah.
Just
Yeah.
not
The old
updated.
way.
It's just not updated. Okay, we are going to table the business plan.
Can I ask him for one paper for, the next meeting that we have?
Is,
It's a report, and it's usually a monthly one, it's Form 8970-630-4320.
Yeah, that's a lot of number, which,
Yeah,
That's,
can you guys?
that's just the one from Todd that shows all the
it's a
events.
detailed revenue report, and it comes out monthly.
That the one that's,
You gave it to me.
yeah. Yeah.
Okay, but that goes back to July, so I mean, I'd like to have one
Yeah.
for November.
And I'm trying to find the payroll stuff, so
Yep,
I think I found one of the weeks, I can find the other one.
yeah.
Okay, I motion to adjourn the meeting.
Oh,
We have to do the
dates.
For what?
No, we already have the date, January 6th.
6:15.
This is homework. Please get it into town hall to
Yep.
Mary by the end of the week.
So then, what happens do I sit with Mary and go through that?
Yep.
Oh, that's helpful, okay.
Yep.
I didn't know if we sit at the next meeting and then, okay.
Okay, all in favor of adjournment?
Aye.
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much. All right, guys, that was a lot of work. I think